Loud like a jag-off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two Dum Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Hey, welcome. Welcome to ya. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 965 of the Two Dum Yinzers, just 35 short shows away from the big 1,000, just right around the corner. I want to say to everybody today, welcome. Welcome back to the show. A lot of things to go over today. Of course, the big topic of the day was the release of the Steelers football schedule for 2026. But real quick, I do want to say for anybody that's interested, the tickets for single games do go on sale today at 1 o'clock. So if you need to get on the horn, get wherever you need to go to get that ticket that you wanted. Individual ticket sales do start today at 1 o'clock for the Pittsburgh Steelers, as the schedule was just released yesterday. The whole regular season schedule, the preseason schedule, a lot of things for us to dive into today. Really a lot of things to dive into, Mike, with this schedule. There's a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about early predictions on how we think that the season is going to play out for the Steelers, how the games are going to go, and just take a look at it in its entirety. Mike, a lot to get into today. How are you doing today, my friend?
Dude, I'm doing well. I'm well rested. I'm fired up, man. Like the schedule is here, one step closer to the actual season starting. Kind of get a breakdown of how we feel the Steelers are going to do this year, man. I'm excited. I'm excited, man. I'm feeling it today.
I, for one, I don't mind the schedule because, again, we talked yesterday. You basically know what the schedule is going to be
Yeah.
as soon as last year ends. So, in its entirety, you know who you're going to play. It's just a matter of placing teams in dates and times. But at the end of the day, I'm not upset. I know some people are upset about the schedule. I know that there's a nice run down near the middle toward the end of the schedule that could be quite rough. And as a matter of fact, we get some crazy predictions from some well-known names. I'll get into those just shortly. I think it might I think it might shock you a little bit what was said about our Steelers, what's going to happen with them here in this season, as the schedule has been released again yesterday, pretty much officially as of 8 o'clock last night, but pretty much it was released throughout the day with leaks, and a lot of it ended up being accurate. So that is in place. We got a lot of things we're going to get into, Mike. Let's just start real quick with this stuff. Pirates, they win that series against the Rockies 2-1, Mike, as they win yesterday 7-2, improving their record to 24-20. They start a series today throughout the weekend, a 3-game set with the Philadelphia Phillies at home today. Game 1 starts at 6:40. The Pittsburgh Riveters, they kick it off, Mike. Our female soccer team here in Pittsburgh last year with their inaugural season, having a pretty good season. And the Riveters, like Rosie, Mike, the Riveters, they are starting season number 2 tomorrow. Game 1 of their schedule tomorrow at 7 o'clock. So do make your way downtown, make your way over to FNB Stadium to check out the Riveters, Mike, as they open up their second season.
Second season, that's right. Yeah, I knew they were there last year. For some odd reason, I thought they had one more, but yeah. FNB, I still want to call it Highmark.
Yeah, come on. How long is it? We're still calling Acrisure Stadium Heinz Field, so FNB is going to be a little bit more difficult, I think, because you don't talk about it as much. So I can see that being what happens there. Mike, the Pittsburgh Passion, they are on their bye week. They'll be back next week. That's our gals here in Pittsburgh. They'll be taking on Cincinnati next weekend. Mike, in the UFL is going into week 8 of their 10-week season. So again, just blowing through spring football. The schedule looks a little bit like this, Mike. Tonight, the Orlando travels to play Dallas. That's an 8 o'clock start. Tomorrow, 2 games. That's DC at Louisville is a noon start. Houston at St. Louis is a 3 p.m. start. And then on Sunday, they wrap up week 8 in the UFL, Mike, with a Columbus at Birmingham game. That's a 1 o'clock p.m. game on Sunday. So if you do want to catch a little bit of football, you can do so over the weekend with the UFL, as the schedule in the NFL was released yesterday. And I do want to say this, guys, individual game tickets do go on sale today at 1 o'clock. So if you did want to be an early bird, getting in on that, that is how that is going to go today. Individual ticket sales start at 1 o'clock. I see on your screen there, Mike, you might have already had a prediction. Excuse me, written down on your little box there. 11-6. Is this what you're thinking?
Yeah, early. I just threw it out there. I really haven't had time to digest the actual schedule. It came out. I looked like sweet. And I was like, oh man, I might throw an early prediction up there. It might change. But right now I'm sitting at 11-6. Because like I said, I just haven't dug deep into them because I kind of figured we might be doing that a little today on the show. That might change, though. But I'm leaning towards 11-6.
I have a bracket of records I think it's going to fall between, but you know what? Ultimately, my prediction is 11-6 as well. And also, as RB was saying on the board here in the group chat, I think that he also said 11-6 as well. So that seems to be the general consensus for the crew here as the schedule was rolled out yesterday. And we're going to get into it here in just a second. Mike, I do want to say this, and again, this isn't usually something I bring up. However, Devlin Hodges does get married yesterday to Lainey Wilson. Mike, he is now the Mr. Lainey Wilson, Duck Hodges. Everybody, Devlin Hodges is off the market. So you can forget about it, everybody. All the ladies, Devlin Hodges is off the market.
He is the modern day Forrest Gump. They're just wandering through life. Awesome things happen to him. Yeah. For really, really small school. I started a couple games for the Pittsburgh Steelers and land not only someone who's beautiful, but extremely talented as well. Ducks living the dream.
Absolutely.
You're living the dream. Can't take anything away from the man.
And finally, Mike, going into the weekend, I do believe, and I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, the Preakness is this weekend. This is the second leg to the horse races, which we talked about the other week with Kentucky Derby. Mike, the Preakness, the second leg is this weekend. Maybe if we get a little time at the end, I know nothing about this, but maybe at the end of the show, if we get a little time, we'll put some bets down on who we might think is going to win this Preakness over the weekend. So again, just something a little fun we might want to deal with. Again, that is if we have time at the end. So let's get going today. I want to say what's up to everybody on the terrible board. What's up? Glad to see us today. Glad to see everybody. Let's jump in right here with Steel Loyal bright and early. He says this 12-5 or 11-6, depending on if we clinch the playoffs toward the end or not. I do want to say good afternoon to you. Steel Loyal, great seeing you, man. It is the weekend. We have our schedule, and it's looking like it's going to be a good weekend for everybody. RB says Derpy's tits need to be on the thumbnail on show 1000, and I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree any more than that. I think he planted that in my mind, Mike. This could be the way we're going.
I normally I'm on board with your gentlemen's ideas. That one might be a bridge too far, even for Thunder.
Well, there's got to be titties involved. If it's episode 1000, it's either you or Derpy. So you guys can figure that out because, of course, everybody knows the 50th anniversary is gold. 1000th, of course, is breastisis. So we'll certainly be serving to that and catering to that as episode 1000 coming up, guys. Just 35 short shows.
Just trying to find a way to get us not banned.
This is the 100. Hey, you know what?
I'm trying to appease you, fellas. I'm trying to figure out how we can't get banned.
So there you go, guys. We're working on that. Scoot along here. I do want to say what's up to RB. RB of the team, of course. RB, always great seeing you, sir. He follows it up by saying, loyal. That's what I said today in the group chat. I went 11-6 because we rest everybody in week 18 is what RB is saying on the terrible board. Steel Loyal says, my thoughts exactly. I do want to say good morning, good afternoon to, of course, the original OG, Yinzer Joe. Always great seeing my man in the house. Yinzer Joe, my man, how are you, sir? He says, what's up? Yinzers, here we go. That's right, baby. Schedule's out. We're going to get into that. Talk a lot about it, actually. A lot of things to get into as far as the schedule goes. Let's jump up to Steel Loyal. He says, going to the Titans, Ravens in Pittsburgh, and then maybe another. That's awesome. And you're coming up from, if I'm not mistaken, what, the DC area? Is that right still? I apologize if that's not right. I think that's where you're coming from. North Carolina. You're Carolina. You're somewhere on the East Coast. I do know that.
Ryan has everyone geolocated.
I do. I'm a
freaky
North Carolina. There it is. It's a curse and a gift. I don't know what the fuck that's all about, but I do know these kind of weird things. Let's scoot along here. RB says, sorry, I've been super busy, guy. No problem at all, dude. We know that you're busy. I just broke the single day week in 2-week production percentage number in the entire company in the last 2 weeks. I ran myself into the ground. Start management training on Monday. Well, hey, man, we know that. I know that. I guess it's all that matters. Let's scoot up here to Steel Loyal. Steel Loyal says Paul Skeens is an animal, and I'm speaking as a Braves fan. Yes, dude. He is the best pitcher in this league by far. I know they have him in a group with like 2 or 3 other guys, but he's a generational talent that does nothing but beast shit, dude. His numbers, everything. Listen, he went in that first game and had like the first game of the year where O'Neal Cruz was terrible in the field, and he was up over 10 on his ERA. Already has it down to under 2. I'm like, we're a quarter of the way through the season. Yeah. He is under 2. Again, he's going to be a blast. I hope we can keep him here as long as we can and get as much winning in as we can while he's here.
Yeah, I saw a breakdown, though, of his stats. He keeps getting worse and worse every year. I think by 2037, his ERA might break like 2.25. Because it goes up like 0.01 every year, 0.01. So by 2035, he'll be an average pitcher.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, by the time he's ready to hang it up, he'll be a mere mortal. Dude is a beast. He's doing things we haven't seen since like the 1800s, early 1900s. I fucking love it.
Everything he does, they're like, oh, that hasn't been done since the early 1900s. Oh, that hasn't been done since World War I. That hasn't been, so again, generational talent. Skeens is great. Let's move on though. RB says I had a 238% day, then 192% week, and a 188% 2 week and job I'm 15 years old to be doing. LOL.
You're fucking beast mode.
Yeah, man. He's the Paul Skeens of his company. I could say that. Let's go to the original Yinzer Joe. He says I'm very proud about playing in Paris. Or I'm very worried. He's very worried, not proud. He's very worried about playing in Paris, then turn around and play a end of the schedule, which is rough. I see 9-8 with the North being strong and a rough ending to the season. Unfortunately, Tortilla's a little bit more optimistic on the board, saying 20-0 and 20-0 for Tortilla, all the way out in Sacramento, California. Hope things are going well for you, sir. Heading into this weekend, this is scheduled day here on the Two Dum Yinzers, Vegas. My man, always great seeing Vegas, all the way from Vegas in the house. What's up, brother? RB says, for context, you only need to do about 95%. Listen, I for one think that you're doing a lot of work, and you convinced me. I'm convinced. RB, he says this. Poor Duck Hodges. She started that Ozempic, and that wonderful full round ass deflated fast. I didn't know that. I'm not a fan. I can't say that I couldn't recognize Lainey Wilson if you put her on the screen by herself without Duck Hodges. If you put her up with 5 other girls, I couldn't identify her. I have a general idea what she looks like. I've seen pictures. I wouldn't know that much though. Somber says this. He says, I feel like running. What's up, Somber? Always great seeing
running.
All the way from Los Angeles, California. Christine, always great seeing Christine in the house. Ready for the big, of course, the reveal happened yesterday, but we're going to get into the schedule in depth today. I'm glad to see Christine. As always, welcome. Let's go to Steel Loyal. Steel Loyal says Rico Dowdle, 200+ yards versus the Panthers. They disrespected our terrible towel. You know what? That's coming then. If they disrespected it, look at Houston. Like, they tried gluing the terrible towel back together after they took the loss last year in the playoffs. But you know what? You live, you learn. Let's give it to Carolina. Steel Loyal. Okay, you're somewhere over there. Somewhere over there is I knew it's what once you get into that Virginia, North Carolina, West Virginia, the whole way down the East Coast, all the way up to about Atlanta. It's all a blur to me. It's all kind of together in my head.
He's from parts unknown, brother. Him and
Parts
the Ultimate
unknown.
Warrior.
Also, I do want to say right here, Vegas, he says, I like Taj Mahal and the Preakness. As I mentioned, I think it was before, it may have been before Christine came in. We are going to, if we have a little time at the end of the show, talk about the Preakness race, of course, the second leg of the Triple Crown with the horse race. And we tried it a couple weeks ago. I didn't know anything, and I still know nothing. So, but again, if we do have time at the end, I think we're going to take some horses to see how we can do. I can assure you mine will be 100% shots in the dark, but it could be a lot of fun. Let's go here to Christine. She says, I'll be optimistic and say 11-6. And you know what? That's kind of been the general optimistic consensus or census or whatever it is. That because Mike is saying 11-6. I'm feeling 11-6. I think somebody else said 11-6. RB is saying 11-6. So I think if you're feeling generally good about the Steelers in the schedule, I think a lot of people are saying right around 11-6. I think there's a bracket. It's about between 3 different records. We'll get to that shortly. Let's go to Vegas. He says Paul went to San Francisco for $47 million a year ago a year in my Major League Baseball 26 game. Let's hope that doesn't happen anytime soon. Let's get our World Series first. And you know what? After that, you can have them. Do whatever you want with them. Just let us get something in my lifetime, please. Please. Let's go here to my man Jamal. What it do, bro? Always great seeing Jamal in the house. Hey, Jamal, I wanted to talk to you about something. You brought up something quite a few months back, and I just wanted to follow up with you and make sure things are okay. I know that there's something that came up with in your personal life, and again, I don't want to bring it up on the air, but I hope everything is okay with that, and I'm just checking in on you because I did not forget you bringing it up. But my friend, I hope things are going good with you and your people. Let's scoot along here to Yinzer Joe. Yinzer Joe says this: I wish I could be optimistic, not realistic. Jamal says, gang in this thing with a chicken wing on a string from Burger King. There it is, baby. Always great to see Jamal in the house. Big baby, that's right. Jamal says this to Yinzer Joe: I used to be, then I grew up. Yeah, ain't that the truth? Tortilla Jackson, my man, he says this: I'm autistic. We're going to the Super Bowl. You know what? Me too. we could be that group of autistic kids that all sit together at the game. You know the group. Yeah, baby. Let's also go right here to Vegas. He says, did she literally laugh her ass off? Lainey Wilson. She might have. I have to check this Lainey Wilson out. I don't know much about her. Again, I know she married Duck Hodges yesterday, and that is what I know. Beyond that, I guess I'll learn. Still, Lindsay, always great seeing Lindsay in the house. What up? Lindsay on the terrible board for the big schedule day today. Also, Tyrone, the GOAT. He insists he shares that name with JPJ. I insist it's Ty, but you know what? All respect for him. I'll go along with the JPJ is the GOAT because you know what? Guy has lit up a touchdown. How could you not be the GOAT at that point?
Exactly.
Steel Loyal says, I'm acoustic. Yeah, and I'm artistic. We'll definitely be sitting in that section together. Joe says this. at Jamal, been a Steeler fan for a very long time, seen a lot of ups, seen a lot of downs, kind of got a feel for how they are going to go. Yeah, exactly. You have a general idea. If you watch football as long as, a lot of us did here on the show, you have a general idea. And along the way, you can identify certain hiccups as well. That kind of falls into the average or into the conversation of just what's the word I'm looking for? Things just go in cycles. Things are, I don't know. If you learn to read cycles, I think it becomes a little bit easier. That's just me. Ty, Lindsay, everybody in the house. Tortilla says we win a Super Bowl every 10 years on average. You're right. All the way. Again, we had 6 of them in the first 50 years. We haven't won a playoff game in the last 10. So it's going to be, we're going to kind of want to get back in the winning column here as far as at least playoffs. This is my big thing for this year. We need to make the playoffs, guys, and get in there and do something. That's my opinion. Let's see what also Steel Loyal in the house. Everybody in the house today. Great to see everybody again. I do want to say single game tickets go on sale in 4 minutes from right now. If you are looking to get single game tickets early, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, single game tickets do go on sale. So if you are looking to get on early and do that, they do become available here in about 3.5 minutes. So that is going on there. I just want to throw it out. I don't want anybody to miss out if they had plans. Let me grab a couple more. Lindsay says, is that Roman? Steel Loyal says, yep, Chiseled God. And finally, Roman will receiver 100. So much to get into today, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show. What do you guys think? You guys want to talk about the schedule?
Nah. Nah.
Is that an area of interest for us today? I don't know.
I don't think no one cares about the schedule now, brother. It's over and done with. That was in the past.
Let me start with the preseason schedule because we do know the preseason schedule as well. These games will be starting in less than 90 days, guys. Less than 90 days. That's right. Today is May 15. On August 13, the Pittsburgh Steelers will be hosting the Green Bay Packers in the first preseason game of the preseason, guys. Green Bay, that's the first game. Second game will be hosting the New York Jets. And then the third game, we're heading up to Western New York to play the Buffalo Bills. So a 3-game preseason, Mike, I highly doubt if Aaron comes, we'll see him, which I don't think we should. I think we should see a lot of the other guys. But again, Mike, preseason, August 13 against the Packers at home. August 21 against the Jets at home, and finally August 27 against the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, Mike.
Those first 2 games, man, they have a connection with a certain quarterback. That might be our starting quarterback. Does the NFL know something we do not know? It's looking like Aaron Rodgers will be here, boys, or they are anticipating him being our guy. The only thing that scares me about this preseason, where the fuck is the Carolina Panthers preseason game? I know that we play them in the regular season, but my God, for 95 years, it feels like Carolina Panthers have been that last preseason game.
I like the difference.
I'm actually kind of worried it's not there.
I like
my comfort game. I knew it was there.
And I'm going to tell you why I like it, because it's out of ordinary and it's something that hasn't been done. It's going to be something that's different than the past 10 years. And listen, like I said, I'm not going to badmouth anybody. I'm just going to say that I'm in the mood for a change and I want to see something different. And you know what? If Carolina's not going to be at the end of that preseason, I'm okay with that. I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to get back to what we love here in Pittsburgh, and that's winning football, Mike. Carolina, we get them in the season. So probably, again, it's happened before. We faced them in preseason and then the regular season.
Yeah. That's just, it feels like ever since Carolina became in the NFL, they've always been there, and now they're not.
So that is, go ahead.
It was my comfort game. I knew the preseason was over when we played the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't like it. It's my tism.
My tism is this: if our starting quarterback isn't practicing come preseason, I'm going to be pissed, because here's the thing. If Aaron Rodgers does sign, and he listen, pay attention to what I'm saying. I guarantee you notice this in week 1. If Aaron Rodgers is our quarterback, somebody's going to run the wrong route, and he's going to be out there going, why don't you get to practice and teach these guys what the hell you want them to do? Don't sit there and wait till week 1 and go, that's bullshit. Come on. That's just my opinion on that. I have an issue with that. You know that. I think that they should be, again, it's a new system. I don't know why the quarterback would need to know, but this is the way things are playing out. It just tells me that he's going to be doing this and this and this and this. And you know what? We need him this year. This is the best chance we have to win. But beyond this, I am so over Aaron Rodgers. I'm done with the experiment. Yes, I do acknowledge that we do need him this year. Beyond that, I'm done. He's a Packer. Let him go retire as a Packer. Because at the end of the day, Mike, if you would be participating with the team, maybe you wouldn't be every time a pattern gets messed up in the end zone. Come on, that's just my opinion. Call me crazy, but there you go. Couple of things, Mike, before we do get rolling here. One more thing. I'm going to say one more thing about the quarterback, and then we are going to get into the schedule. Charlie Batch, Mike. Charlie Batch. He's still spreading this. He's still saying that the holdup he believes is about money. Charlie Batch is really still spinning that, Mike. He's still saying this whole thing is about money. This is why he isn't showing up. Mike, we have OT starting on Monday. We have mandatory minicamp coming on June 2nd. This is along the lines of the exact same thing he did last year. Why does Charlie continue to keep peddling this out, Mike? This is obviously Aaron Rodgers just being Aaron Rodgers. And if money's involved, that's why your agent is involved. That's why he works with the team.
Yeah.
And why does Charlie keep talking about this, Mike?
Because he threw it out there, and God forbid anyone is able to say, hey, you know what, I made a mistake. Oh, you know what, I overreacted. Everyone now has to double, triple, quadruple down on any take that they make. No one is ever allowed to go, fucked up. No, he's going to keep going down, 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 down. And if he makes more than what he made last year, Charlie's going to say, I was right. I called it.
Well, of course he's going to make more. That's the most natural move in anything is to make more money moving forward.
Yeah, and like the way we, put the tender on Aaron Rodgers, he's automatically getting a pay raise.
Yeah.
And he's saying it's going to be close to $30 million. What's close to $30 million? He made, 10-something last year? So 15, 16? Oh, Charlie can say, hey, that's close to $30 million. It's, it's more than 10, more than he made last year. That's close to $30 million. That's like saying that nickel I found on the ground is close to $30 million. Charlie, get your head out your ass.
Let me jump in right here. I'm going to grab Yinzer Joe, and then I'm going to do a couple of things, and then we're going to get into this schedule. And Yinzer Joe says, well, that's very different from you, Ryan. Rodgers knows, but does he know the system? I mean, he knew the system that Mike McCarthy ran in Green Bay, but there's no guarantee that it's going to be okay. I'll give you that. The others may not know as much, which, again, you might want the most important guy on the team to be there when these other people don't know so much, so maybe you guys can get on the same page. Again, call me crazy. Follows that up by saying, but it's not Rodgers' job to teach them all. And you're right, it's not. But isn't that one of the big selling points? If Rodgers is here, they're going to learn from him. So again, there's so much back and forth. These doors keep swinging both ways in people's opinions. Again, I don't understand it anywhere else in the world, in any situation, sports, jobs. This is a problem. But not with our Steelers. We're okay. Aaron Rodgers, you could do whatever you want. You could let us know when you're good. Again, this isn't the Tasty Freeze down on the corner. It's a multi-billion-dollar company. Again, I don't know if this is how things should be ran, but that's just my opinion. Let me finish up his thought here. He says it's the coach's job to make sure they do it right. But don't you want your most important guy in the team to be involved in that process? Again, so the players know him, to learn his ways, his thought process. The more you work with somebody, the better you get. You learn how they think. You learn how they move. You learn their flaws. And if you don't have that, then you don't learn those things. You learn them on the way. And when you learn them on the way, that tells me that week 3, we're going to be going like this. And everybody's going to be going, there it is. Aaron Rodgers didn't practice all offseason, didn't practice in the preseason. But here he is. That, again, is just my opinion. Call me nuts. Call me nuts for me wanting the most important position on the team to be involved with the team when the team is trying to learn what the system is. Call me crazy. Call me crazy, if you will. But let's get back to the topic of the day, guys. The schedule, the release. Mike, the primetime games on the Pittsburgh Steelers schedule is this. October 1st. October 1st is against the Cleveland Browns. Mike, that is a week 4 game. What is that? Is that a Sunday? Is that a Monday? What is that?
That's Thursday.
Okay, Thursday. See, I don't have the days. I just have the dates here in front of me.
Yeah.
So the first primetime game is the Browns on a Thursday. That's at, where is that? It's on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see where it says Thursday night now. Second one, Mike, week 10. Week 10 is at the Bengals on a Sunday night football game. We go to Cincinnati to play Sunday night. This next one, Mike, a rematch from the playoffs here in Pittsburgh. The Houston Texans will be in Pittsburgh to play us on Sunday Night Football. That is on December 6th. And then finally, Mike, week 14, the following week, we'll be playing Monday Night Football down in Northeast Florida against the Jacksonville Jaguars. 4 primetime games, 3 of them on the road. The only one at home is the rematch of the Houston Texans. That's a game that scares me. We'll get into that as we go down the schedule today. But guys, let us know on the board today what your thought is. What do you feel the Steelers are going to end up with as far as wins when this thing is all said and done? We'll give our predictions at the end of the show. I think we pretty much gave them away early on, but at the end, we'll touch base on that and see where everybody's at. But do throw your guesses, your thoughts, your predictions up on the board. I'd love to know what you think that the Steelers are going to be, how they're going to finish against this schedule. Again, I don't hate it. We already knew what it was going to be. It's against the South Divisions. And again, you get 3 teams that finished first place in the league last year, the Eagles, the Patriots, and the Broncos, which again, 2 of those teams don't scare me. Philadelphia scares me.
Mm-hmm.
Rightfully so. They're terrible people over there. But as far as football goes, Mike, these other 2 teams, yes, they did finish in the first place in their division, but they don't scare me. Not yet, anyway.
Same. Like the Eagles scare me because we haven't won there since 1965. But Texans, that defense scares me. The offense does not. There's not many people outside of that. Like that, I'm really looking at the schedule and going, "Ooh, I really don't want to play them." I'm just looking through the schedule, man. There's every game is a winnable game.
I agree.
Outside of like the Eagles, just because we haven't won there since 1965.
Can you at least give us a home game against the Eagles one of these years? The narrative is we haven't won there since pre-Woodstock, and yet they still will not. They still will not schedule a Philadelphia Eagle game here in Pittsburgh. What is going on?
It's ridiculous. I think we had one 3 or 4 years ago, but everyone outside of that, it feels like they've been in Philadelphia.
Even when it was in Pittsburgh, it felt like it was in Philadelphia because I don't think we won that one either.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me jump on the board. Now, you know what? Let's do this. Let's get this schedule out there, Mike. I want to talk about the schedule. We have a lot to talk about. I have the teams that are favored in every game of the schedule. We got all kind of information to get through today, Mike. Let's do it. Let's get into that opener. That is against the Atlanta Falcons, of course, at home. We talked about that yesterday as it was leaked. The Falcons at home. I like this matchup, Mike, because again, the Falcons are a cluster. They really are. They over the past how many years? You bring in a head coach. They said, bringing in who's the guy we just gave to Ohio State? Smith. Bring in Smith. He was a good coordinator in Tennessee. Let's see what he could do. He goes 7-10 3 years in a row. Let's do this. Let's draft 15 quarterbacks. Everything that's going on down there is pretty much a disaster, Mike. I like week 1, Atlanta in Pittsburgh. I think we start off 1-0.
I do as well. I think it's a very winnable game right there. We should win that one. They got a couple pieces on their defense I like, a couple pieces on their offense that I like, but overall the team not that good. That should be a win for your Steelers.
I couldn't agree more. So that is the opener, Mike. Yesterday, Christine, she did call it. She said New England week 2. We didn't know yesterday what the definite was on week 2. She told us it was going to be in New England. Mike, this was the same. I think, I don't remember if it was week 2, but it was in the first 3 or 4 weeks that we played New England this year. And it was also up there, if I'm not mistaken. And we did manage to win this game, but it did require 5 turnovers. New England's good. And at the end of the day, you could say, they don't have this, they don't have that. But they were the team in the AFC that managed to find their way to that Super Bowl in February last year, Mike. This game, for me, just depending on what Steeler team starts the season, really depends on which way I think this is going to go. I think if they come out clunky and sloppy, I think they could easily lose this game. But if they come out playing good football and they're sharp and they're on things and then they got the system down and the coaches really have good preparation, I think you're going to beat a New England team. Like, I don't think they're invincible. They have coaching issues, of course. So at the end of the day, I don't love this matchup, but I think it just really depends on how the Steelers come out and play football through the first quarter of the season. Because the first quarter, Mike, it's not the same as the rest of the year. You're trying to iron out kinks. You're trying to learn the people that's around you. You're trying to get on the same page. Again, I don't love the New England matchup. I could see them losing, but again, if they bring it and if they get their shit together and come out and play the way they can play ball and what we want to see, I think they could win this football game, Mike.
Yeah, for me, this one is is a toss up as well. Right now, I'm leaning towards New England in this one. Just early season, I think this is like New England's home opener, so they might be a little jazzed for that one. Just a slight loss for the Steelers, but not like an embarrassing loss. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
one of those early season type games where both teams are trying to still find their footing within those first four games. That's usually when every team is kind of working out, developing their identity. And I think this is one where we slip up just a little bit, but it's going to be one of those you come out like, okay, we hung with the team who made it to the Super Bowl last year. We're looking good. They're looking good. And it comes out more or less like you're feeling confident about the team going forward.
We always struggle against New England. We have since Tom Brady. We did before Tom Brady. Guys, it was never an easy team for the Steelers to beat. New England is always going to be tough again. This game's a toss-up for me, really depending on how the Steelers look in that first quarter of the season. So this one, it could go either way. I obviously hope for a win, but I could totally see us going up there and losing that game. Let's hope that that's not the case. Let's go to week 3, Mike. We're going to come back home. A lot of home away until you get to a certain point of the season. So we're going to go back home now. This next game is the Bengals game. Bengals at home early in the season is totally winnable game for Pittsburgh. You don't want to fall into the trap you fell into last year where you couldn't cover their receivers. So again, hopefully Coach Graham and Coach McCarthy, they put together good game plans. And if they do, Mike, I think Cincinnati's totally winnable at home, our second home game of the year. I think we could easily be 2-1 to start this season. Easily.
I feel that way too. I have this down as a win. You line Joey Porter Jr. up against Jamar Chase. We saw what happened last year when Chase was allowed to run free against anyone else, and then that second game, we put JPJ on him and totally took him out of the game. Start with that. Do that, and then work out where you're going to put all the other 10 guys. Go from there. This should be a dub. I think it's going to be a fun game. I think this is going to be the shootout game because the past couple of years it's been shootout close. I think this is the shootout and we win it.
All right. So that is the third game, Mike. Now back on the road. This is the Thursday night game. Oh, wait, Mike disappeared. I do have something in place when this does happen. So do hang tight, everybody. When Mike does disappear, I am going to replace him with the Mike dummy. So Mike and I are going to discuss the schedule as Vanilla Thunder takes care of business. Mike, are you ready for the next game? All right, there you go. The next game on the list is the Thursday night game between the Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. This is at Cleveland, and this one scares the hell out of me, only because they've struggled heavily playing in Cleveland the past couple of years, going back to the Snow Globe game and also going to the and then last year I think we shit the bed as well in that 13-6 loss. And I see Mike, the dummy Mike, agrees with me. Mike, what's your thought on the there's Vanilla. I have to put Mike away, but it was fun. He's certainly on tap. Mike, Thursday night, Cleveland Browns in Cleveland. I hate this game.
I hate this game too. I actually literally had to take my medicine before talking about this.
Is that
game.
what you want to do? You want to take your
medicine? I didn't want to
see
slamming back NyQuil and Dayquil on the show.
We don't want anyone to think you're weird,
I know, right? I know, right? I have this as a loss. Like this, the NFL.
If you got to give losses,
Thursday
Mike.
Games in Cleveland to the Steelers. Are you fucking serious? You know this is a guaranteed loss versus a guaranteed win for them. It's a loss. A short week after you're playing the Bengals, you're playing a division rival. Then you got to go play a division rival again on short rest. That's fucked up. It's that to me that's so stupid. I hate that bullshit. So. This one is a loss for your Pittsburgh Steelers.
And it also, Mike, it has the feel that, the first time around, you get that Browns team, you're not quite ready for them the way that we weren't, and then we came back. So I think we lose this one. I think we win the one at home, but we'll get to that in just a second. That is the first quarter of the season, if you will, Mike, slightly under with the 17-game schedule now, but let's scoot on. The Indianapolis Colts at home, Mike, the following Sunday. The Indianapolis Colts at home, I think this is totally winnable. If you go off of anything that you've known in the past, Mike, the Colts just aren't that good. Even when they were good last year, they started tough and they were being called the best team in the league. And then when they face a real team, and yes, I do consider the Steelers a real team, they are always competitive. Mike, they fell apart I'm not sure that the Indianapolis Colts got it back together to become a great team. I'm not afraid of this team. I think Indianapolis at home for us is a win.
Yeah, me too. You have Daniel Jones, who still has that Achilles injury. Is he going to be healthy by this time? You got Anthony Richardson, who they're allowing to explore trade options, and then behind them you got Riley Leonard and Seth Hennigan. Who the fuck are they? Like, unless you're going to give the ball to Jonathan Taylor 80 fucking times this game, there's no way the Colts win this game. This should be a lock. You got to be running the Wildcat for this offense to have any semblance of competency. This should be a win for your Steelers.
And listen, I'm thinking, and we're not officially keeping track, but this officially has me at 3-2 after the first 5 games. And let me include this because I don't want to go through it and forget all about it. Let me say this: this is the current favorites for every one of the games that we just talked about. The Atlanta Falcons at home, like in week 1, they are favored by 3 points as of right now over the Steelers. New England, I'm sorry, we're favored by 3 points. I apologize about that. We are favored by 3 points. When we go to New England the following week, we are underdogs by 4.5 points. The Patriots are 4.5 point favorites. Come home, play Cincinnati. We are 1.5 point underdogs in that as well. My back-to-back weeks underdogs. They have us 1.5 point underdogs to Cincinnati at home. Then we go to Cleveland, Mike. This is the official point spread right now, and it's going to change, obviously. Cleveland, they have us as 2.5 point favorites in that Cleveland game.
Wow.
So, I mean, who did this? Dan Orlovsky? Let's go to the Colts, Mike. That is the last game we spoke of. The Colts, we are 2.5 point favorites also in that game. Let's jump back on the board. I'm going to try to mix it up today, Mike, to stay current on everything if I can. But let's see if we can do it. Let's go. Let's go back a little bit. Let's go to Yinzer Joe. I'm going to go back to Yinzer Joe here briefly. I would have said it this year. The AFC North didn't all just get better healthy. They will win the division in a playoff game, but it's not going to be easy after Paris and the bye. I think we did get that one. Let's scoot up here a little bit more. Cody, what's up, dude? Always great seeing Cody on the terrible board. He says Roman Wilson is better than or equal to Mason McCormick. Okay, maybe he could block. Maybe we could put him on the offensive line. He doesn't seem to be too busy anywhere else. Steel Loyal says want to see Aller and Howard against those defenses, even if they're calling vanilla play calling. I'm sorry. Vegas said I heard Derpy just got the job taking crust off of Uncrustables. Mike, the crust off of Uncrustables, that may be something Derpy could do. It may.
That might actually be a skill set that he possesses.
I wouldn't be paying him, but
he can do it for free.
Somebody could probably pay him, I guess. Tyrone says TJ is going to crush Bryce since they disrespected our flag. You know what? I hope you're right. They all learn eventually. They all learn. They all come in thinking they're badasses. Oh, yeah, that towel doesn't mean anything. Yeah. Well, you know what? That towel has 60 years of history that says otherwise. So go ahead, keep messing with it. Lindsay says, can't wait for that. Also, Jamal says, A-Rod is not our savior. I agree, he's not our savior, but he gives us the best opportunity to win this year. And beyond that, I'm ready for him to be gone. I'm A-Rodded out. I'm exhausted. Let's go to Ty. He says, neither is Tomlin. Let's go to Cody. He says it's going to be Bernard getting the ass chewing because he's mid. Jamal says, I'm just saying F him. I'd rather run with one of the other rookies. And here's the thing. We may be in that we might be in that situation, Jamal. Let's say Aaron goes down. You know, we're not going to have many options. So listen, I understand and I realize how we feel because I feel the same way. But I do realize also he gives us the best opportunity to win. And that's ultimately what we want in Pittsburgh is to get the wins, man. Let's scoot along a little bit right here to Ty. No, I'm sorry. Vegas, when is the first day of real training camp? Aaron will sign the day before that. Tyrone says, no, they ain't ready. Jamal says, you don't like Bernard? Let's go here to Ty. We keep getting quarterbacks. We getting quarterback next year anyways. Steel Loyal said he's rage baiting Jamal. He's mid. Cody says. Jamal says, and what's Aaron ready for to get us to 10-7 in the first round exit? Same shit, different toilet. Cody says Alabama sucks. RB Charlie Batch has some of the worst takes I've ever. You know what I mean? He really does. I like Charlie. He's a good guy. He's a hometown guy. I love him. But at the end of the day, he has some odd takes. You're 100% right. Jamal says that Steel Loyal work too. LOL. Tortilla. Aliquippa rules. Aliquippa always doing good things in football. Vegas says this Bernard is very good versus zone, but needs to improve versus man. Let's go here to the original Yinzer Joe. He said, okay, we did get this one, Joe. We did talk about that. A-Rod 22, call it a day. Tyrone is saying, let's go up here to Cody. Bernard's slow. The only reason we got open because Ryan Williams got triple teamed. Tyrone says Bernard will pass Pittman for wide receiver number 2 by week 12 to 15. Let me grab a couple more. We're going to hop back on the schedule here, guys. Let's get to Vegas. Vegas says this. What was the person that came up with the word Aliquippa and then thought it was the name of the – well, the one thing about here, Vegas, is – and I know you're originally from here – a lot of the town names have Native American names. In our valley alone, we have Chippewa, Monicatutha, Aliquippa, a lot of Native American town names, particularly the valley that we're in. Let's go to Steel Loyal. He says this, Cody, I'm buying you a Bernard jersey. Send me your address. Tyrone says, Cody, I can't wait till Bernard goes stupid. I'm talking hella shit. A couple more. I swear to you, let me grab a couple more. Tortilla, all of our wide receivers go stupid one way or another. Cody says, nah, Rodgers ain't going to pass him the ball. He don't like rookies. Oh, that would be shitty. What would that be shitty if he doesn't throw the ball to Bernard? I don't know what I'll do if that's the case. Let me grab Yinzer Joe, and then we're going to get back into it, guys. Yinzer Joe says that's the all developed and timed out during the process, the practices and games. Rodgers can, but doesn't have to help them. And I agree. I mean, but wouldn't you prefer that he does? I understand what he doesn't have to do and what he has to do, but that's not the point. The point is, what do teams that win do? They do the extra. We're not getting the extra with him. We're getting the less. Again, call me crazy. That's just my opinion. Let's see. He does have to help them. We all assume he is helping the quarterback room. And again, I don't assume that one way or the other. And that's never anything that I harp on. I never go on about how Aaron Rodgers could help the young guys. I just don't. And what's he going to do? Sit there like a professor? I'm never, that's never been my argument. Steel Loyal, he liked Randall Cobb as a rookie. Somber, yes, there are to be determined destinations, also designations on this schedule as well. Mike, let's get back to the schedule.
Let's do it.
All right, next on the list, Mike, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This one is on Sunday, October 18. This one is down in Tampa Bay. Mike, it's a stadium that James Harrison took that ball and ran it back 100 yards on the return, Mike, in Super Bowl 43, going back to the big ship down south Florida, Mike. Tampa Bay, week 6 for the Steelers.
I have Baker Mayfield pulling this one out over your Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know why. So I just have that feeling we're going to go down south. Still going to be probably a little warm down there, maybe, and we're gonna have a loss.
I disagree.
I think it's going to be a good game. I don't think we're going to get blown out in any game. I think they're all going to be close, fun, exciting games that we lose. But I think we just slip up in this one.
I disagree. I think that Tampa Bay is NFC South good. I've seen them lose the division to Carolina last year. I'm not sold on Tampa Bay. I was sold on Tampa Bay until I seen the results of last season. Again, they fell short, Mike. Carolina really picked it up.
Yeah.
I think they're NFC South good, if you understand what that means.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they're going to be good. They're going to have a good record. They're going to do things. But again, when they play the real teams, they play the teams that matter, the teams that count. I think this is where Tampa Bay struggles. They got good players. They got a good quarterback. They got good receivers. They have good things going on defense. I don't deny that. I don't take anything away from them. I just think that they're NFC South good. And again, in that division, Mike, you don't have to be that good to be at the top, and they didn't win the division. So that's where I'm at with Tampa. I just don't think that they play really good football. They're going to win games. They're going to do what they do. But again, I think that's a result of a naturally soft schedule.
That's a fair assessment.
All right, let's move along with this game here, Mike. We're going to hop on a plane. Well, I'm not, because I don't trust the government. But anyway, at the end of the day, we're going to hop on a plane. We're going to fly. We're going to fly all the way to France, Mike, for the game against the New Orleans Saints. Yes, Mike, we'll be playing in France. against the Saints. This is the game, the Week 7 matchup. The Saints are considered the home team in this game, Mike, in Paris, France. First NFL game ever in Paris, France, as there's a slew of games going on in England, or I'm sorry, in Europe this year, and even Mexico City and abroad. So, Mike, Pittsburgh at the Saints at Paris. Who do you like?
Your Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, me too.
Yinzers in Paris. We're gonna put belt to ass to that team. They do not scare me. Tyler Suck does not scare me at all. Get some inside pressure on his little bitch ass. He'll be throwing footballs over his head like Uncle Rico. He'll be throwing footballs the way he did it at the combine, looking like a fool. Yeah, we're whooping that ass.
Let me. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm going to do the point spreads by game as we go along, too, just so it isn't out of context, Mike. Let me go back to one game. New England. To Tampa Bay. My fault, Mike. We were underdogs against Tampa Bay in Tampa by 1.5, and we are favorites in Paris over the Saints, even with the French symbol on their head. Mike, we are favorites in that game right now by 2.5 points. Let's talk about this next game, Mike. We're coming. What do we have next here? The Browns again. This one, Mike, the Browns again. This is the week before the bye. Now, this time is at home. This is the one that I think that we win because the Browns haven't beat us here since the 1300s. It doesn't seem like. Mike, again, I give the Browns the win up there this year. I give us the win this year. It's no different than the way it's been recently. Yeah. That seems to be the trend. However, the Browns, they drafted good. I can't say that enough because I do think the Browns are going to be better than their usual 3 to 5 wins. But, Mike, I think we win this game in Pittsburgh. I do know that the early odds is the Steelers. The Steelers are favorites in this by 5.5, Mike, against Cleveland at home in this particular week.
Yeah, I have us winning this one. I think this one might be closer than it should be, just because work, having to travel over, then come back. The Browns get us in a very good situation. Home, there, we have to go there, play them on short rest. So they get to stay home. Then we have to fly overseas, then fly back to play them. I think the league's trying to set it up for the Browns to actually pull a sweep on the Steelers. That's the Vanilla Thunder conspiracy theory of the week. But I have the Steelers winning this game.
So, Mike, we're going to the bye, the Week 9 bye. Let me just take a quick look because I want your assessment on an early prediction for the first part of the schedule. Let me see. I got 2-2, 3-2, 4-2, 5-2. I think that we could legitimately be 6-2 at this point, Mike. That's again best case scenario in my opinion. I think we can be 6-2 if things go well. If we come out and play good football, if we really adapt to this new system, the new coaching, the new players, Mike, I can see us at 6-2 at the break. Again, that comes in Week 9. What do you think for the Steelers, Mike? Your way early prediction.
My way early predictions right now. I have us at 5-3, but I am with you. It could be 6-2 at best.
I agree.
At best, 6-2. Right now, I'm going 5-3. For me, like the Browns game, I hate to say that's a guaranteed loss, but it just feels like every time we go up there on Thursday nights, it's a loss. The Patriots game and the Tampa Bay game, those could easily be wins. I think they're going to be tight games, close games, where we just happen to just fall short. Like we're getting our footing. The young guys are getting their footing, and that's going to pay dividends later in the year.
I would say no, Jamal. That doesn't make you any less of a fan. You have a strategy in mind. Does that? You know what I'm saying? The fact that you're thinking it to the point to where you feel that it might be a losing season or you want it to, I think that makes you more of a fan. You're analyzing it. You're critically thinking about it. So no, that doesn't make you any less of a fan. I think that makes you more of a fan. Let's scoot along, Mike. The next game on the list, we are coming back from the bye. Again, I'm saying 6-2. You're saying possibly 5-3. Again, both pretty good scenarios. Let's hope that that's the case. Mike, we're going to come back, and here come them Bengals again. This time, it's going to be Cincinnati. This is the one that gives us trouble has given us trouble for the past few years, Mike. Are we able to turn that corner with Cincinnati and go over there and get a win?
Yeah. Are we at Cincinnati? After the bye, I think I have this one as a loss right now. I'm leaning towards a loss with the Bengals because we just been alternating wins and losses with them in the past couple years. I think that trend continues.
All right.
Go
Mike,
down to the jungle, apparently.
so if you're right, this starts a very treacherous run of games. Now, again, I would start with the Browns game prior, but let's start at the break. Let's let's give us a little bit of a break here. So if you're talking after the bye, Mike, bye, then at the Bengals. We're gonna get into these games. I'm just gonna blow through them right now, but we're gonna get through them individually. Then you go to Philadelphia. Then you're playing the Broncos, who were kind of screwed, a healthy quarterback away from possibly being in the Super Bowl. You know, if they'd had their quarterback, and maybe New England wouldn't have snuck in like that. Then you got Mike. Then you got the Texans coming to town, who literally made us inferior every single way. Mike, in that game in January against Houston, we were inferior. So that's a good game. After this one, Mike, we're talking the Jaguars on the road. Then the Baltimore games start. Baltimore, I think the two easy games on the schedule for the second through the run. I'm glad they're at the end this year because it's usually tough games for us, Mike, at the end of the season. Carolina, I like our matchup here. Tennessee, I like the matchup there. Baltimore to finish out the season. So it's not going to be easy by any means. Once you get past the bye week, you better get healthy. You better get in and revise, make adjustments, whatever you have to do. But Mike, let's rewind back. I need to go back to the. You go ahead.
I was going to say back to the Bengals here. I forgot that was after the bye.
Yeah,
we win. We sweep the Bengals this year.
All right, always good.
Like I said, I did all this before we got deep into the schedule. I forgot that was before the bye.
Yeah, I did that. You're good. Just take your nap. You'll be okay. I
did take a nap. That's the scary part, brother.
Let's hop to this next game. This one is the game that scares us all. Is if there's a person. Hold on, real quick. The over and under. I'm sorry. The point spread on the Cincinnati game, Mike. We are 3.5 point dogs at Cincinnati. Out of the bye.
That makes sense.
Again, these are probably going to change. This is way early, but those are the spread as we speak, Mike. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles, I don't know if there's a person alive that is honestly predicting the Steelers to win this game. I would like to see that change, but Mike, right now, the Eagles are 5.5 point favorites in the early point spread. Your thoughts on this Eagles game at Philadelphia?
If I was a betting man, I would take all my money, all the lot lizards money, and put this down on the Eagles to win. It just feels like if there's a guaranteed winner, it's the Eagles over the Steelers in Philadelphia. Like the minute I saw them on the schedule and I knew it was at Philly, I have it as a loss. Go back to the 2008 team when we were just beating everyone's ass. We got manhandled there. Ben got sacked 9 times. We that was probably our best team we've had in a long ass time, and they couldn't win there. This team is nowhere near as good as that team. This is a loss. You could have Big Ben in his prime running this team, and we would still lose.
You know what I'm going to do, Mike? I'm going to change the pace. I'm going to say the Pittsburgh Steelers beat Philadelphia this year. They changed the. It's going to happen. I'm sticking with this. Believe me, I'm not changing it the rest of the way, Mike, all the way up until the end of November. I'm going to keep my prediction. The Steelers change the tide. They win in Philadelphia this year just because everybody expects them not to, and because Vegas jumped into bed with the NFL about 5 years ago. So maybe a lot of people could win money, but that's really beside the point. I'm going to stay with the Steelers over Philly. I might be the only person, but I'm okay with that. Mike, let's move on. Again, we are 5.5 point underdogs in that game as of right now. Let's go on to Denver, Mike. This is a home game. I like the home game against Denver. You're not going down to the high altitudes. You're not going down to the thin air. You get to stay home. Make them come here. Again, yes, they're good, but yes, they're kind of early still. They really haven't accomplished anything in the big picture. Mike, I think they could have possibly went to the Super Bowl last year had not they had the injury with their quarterback. But Mike, I'm not scared of Denver. I think this could be a good game. And again, just depending on what the Steelers look like at this point in the season. Are we dealing with injuries? Are we playing good football? Are we playing poor football? Are we making dumb mistakes? Are we struggling doing this? But I think, Mike, if things are just going along fine, not any big problems, I think that this is a winnable game. Like, I'm not saying that they're not tough. They have a great defense, some big weapons on offense, certainly adding, Mike, but I think this is a winnable game. I think the Steelers can win this game at Pittsburgh.
I do too. I have us winning this game. I don't know if anyone's seen the pictures of Bo Nix's leg post-surgery. It almost looks as bad as mangled as Alex Smith's leg after he came back from that injury. Like, I don't know how mobile he's going to be, how how effective he's going to be going forward. Their defense is tough. I like their defense, but without Bo Nix, I don't know if they're going to be that good. And I just think we're going to win this game right here. Right now, I have it down as dub for the Steelers.
All right. Yeah. Listen, I think that this is a winnable game. It's winnable. I'm not saying that they're going to win, but I'm saying it's totally winnable, Mike. And then also this game, we are 1.5 point dogs as we speak. So again, this could obviously change. Let's go on to the next one. This is another game that scares me. There's a couple games in this series in this schedule that scares the shit out of me. One of them is that first Cleveland game on the road.
Yeah.
One of them was Philadelphia at Philly, and then this team right here, Mike, the Houston Texans that came and showed us that we didn't belong in that in the bracket last year when it came to playoffs in January, Mike. It is at home, but again, so was the game in January. Yeah. Mike, this week 13 matchup, December 6th, the Houston Texans. Mike, what do you think?
Right now, I have it
because of the defense. I just want to say that it's all because of that defense.
Yeah, it's same right here. Right now, basing it off of right now, their D line's better than our O line right now.
Absolutely.
Right now, as on May 15th, 2026, their D line is so much better than our O line right now. Now, if our O line progresses the way we all hope and think it will, I think this game's going to be a really close game. But right now, I have it as a loss for Pittsburgh, but it would not shock me as the season progresses, as these guys on the line play, if they flip-flop people left to right, I think it might make that line just that much stronger. And if Mad Max can come in and develop and progress and not hit a rookie wall, this line could, I think they can go toe-to-toe with that team. But basing it off of right now as today, I have it as a loss. But if things go well for us, could very much change my tune come December.
Again, this is one of my losses. I just have I have 3 games that I hate in this schedule. This is the third one. I do want us to go back and just say real quick that Denver game is the Black Friday game. And if anybody ever wondered, I just kind of just by talking to people, Mike, sometimes they don't understand what that even means. Black Friday is because all the companies are in the black for basically the only time of the year on Black Friday. That's one of the days that businesses, companies, corporations make all their money, and all their numbers are in the black opposed to in the red. Just in case anybody didn't know that, people don't know and they still say other things. But the fact of the matter is, Black Friday is due to the sales that companies have, the money that they make that day after Thanksgiving. So again, just wanted to throw that little fact out there. Let's go here to the next game on the schedule, Mike. I'm going to come back down now to this Monday night matchup in Jacksonville. Mike, is a Monday night or a primetime game ever easy for the Steelers in Jacksonville? Take this back 30 years, would you?
No. We lost like the very first game we played down there, didn't we? I think we did.
We did. Yeah, they were always in our asses, dude. We couldn't. Never had success. And we were a good team.
Hated that team, but that trend changes.
I'm still waiting, but yeah, I mean, it should, in theory.
It should, goddamn it, because we don't have Big Ben throwing easy give me interceptions to Rasheed Mathis at cornerback anymore. The trend breaks. We don't have to worry about Leonard Fournette running all over Cam Hayward. We win.
I think this game could go either way, and if I'm breaking it down, trying to figure out my final record, I'm going to give us a loss to Jacksonville because we just generally don't play Jacksonville good. What that's about, I don't know. Think of the playoffs games a few years back. Think of the early runs against them and against Tom Coughlin back in the 90s. We just never ever play the Jacksonville Jaguars good for whatever the reason. Like anytime it matters, it seems like we lose to them. So for that reason, I am going to give us the L. I do know right now, Mike, that the current point spread is we are 3-point dogs to Jacksonville on Monday Night Football in Jacksonville. So there, I'm going to go a loss. Because again, just in all honesty, it would be fun to give everybody a win. Give us a win against everybody. But Mike, this Jacksonville game, I don't have a good feeling. It's not a game that I hate, but it's a game that I could totally see us losing.
I think Mike McCarthy breaks the bad luck.
I hope you're right. I believe me. Oh,
Cowher couldn't do it. Tomlin couldn't do it. God damn it, Big Mac's going to do it.
And if the team was around when Noel played, he probably wouldn't have been able to do it either.
Right.
Let's move along, though. That's Jacksonville, Mike. 4 games left on the schedule. This is where it gets interesting to me because you get through this tough part of the schedule. I'm talking Cincy on the road. I'm talking Philadelphia, Denver, Houston, even Jacksonville, Mike, and now you got Baltimore to kind of finish that run of tough games. This is where it gets hard. This is the part of the schedule that a lot of people don't like, Mike. So let me get to the first game. This is at Baltimore.
No.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot on the line for us, for them, and even elsewhere in the division. This game might mean a lot depending on how teams do. Mike, the first Baltimore game, this is December 20 in Baltimore, Maryland. What's your thoughts on this matchup?
It's in Pittsburgh. And
okay, mine says at Baltimore, but you know, whatever. Who cares?
I'm sorry.
Tell us who you think's gonna win.
Don't you let me.
I don't care if it was in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Who's gonna win?
It does not matter. It could be in a goddamn parking lot outside the fucking Walgreens. Pittsburgh Steelers are winning this goddamn game.
See, I think they win
this one
their too.
Asses. We own their asses. Pittsburgh Steelers win this one.
I think we win this one too. Mike over Baltimore again. I think we're gonna split. But I think we win this one. Because you know what? When you played in that last game of the season, remember it came down to that missed field goal? Something just says this is going to continue into that for me. Now, I'm not saying that the Steelers aren't going to make the playoffs because of it, but something just tells me that Baltimore's going to find a way to win that last game of the year.
Yeah.
I just do. But anyway, let's move on, Mike. That game against Baltimore, we are already 2.5-point dogs. Now the games, Mike, these are the games that I think could be a little fun. These might be the games where we're sitting there going, okay, we got to win these. If we win these ones, we'll be okay because then we'll get Baltimore to finish it up. Mike, these next two is Carolina is next. This one is, in fact, at home against Carolina, and we are 3.5-point favorites in this game as we speak. So super, super early, but still, Mike, I think that Carolina could it be a trap game possibly at that point in the season? I don't know, but I think if I'm putting together my wins and losses on the season, I'm getting Pittsburgh a win against Carolina.
I think this is going to be a tougher game that a lot of fans will anticipate. The Panthers are a scrappy little team. They don't go away easily, especially the way they were playing last year. But this is a dub for your Steelers. I forget who said it, but yeah, this is the Rico Dwaddle revenge game. He's gonna run all over them. Give me your Pittsburgh Steelers. All
right. We're going to travel. I agree. I think we beat these guys. Let's go to Tennessee. Quite a disaster they have down there with this football team. But, Mike, at the end of the day, they're a football team. They're in the NFL. They're professional football players, very skilled athletes. So, anything could happen. Of course, a lot of people be talking trap game during this one as well, you would assume. Mike, Pittsburgh at Tennessee. This is as of right now, it's a 1:00 game. It's not under the I don't think it's under the TBDs. Mike, this Week 17 matchup in Tennessee. What's your thoughts?
Tennessee Titans, they still ass. They're still a bad team. Yeah. They did. I like their draft some. I like get some weapons for Cam Ward. I think he's a very good quarterback, very underrated. That O-line's still shitty around him. Versus the team shitty around him. I think they picked the wrong head coach to build around Cam Ward down there. So, yeah, this should be a walk in the park for the Steelers. I think Tennessee is going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL.
Mike, is this a possibility of, you get into this final stretch and like, okay, we need to win these two, and then we play Baltimore. If we win this game, then we're going to be good. We're going to be, we're going to get in, and then you lose one of these games. I mean, this has happened to us in the past. I think a couple of years back, we lost a game down the stretch. It kind of screwed us. And then a couple of years ago, Mike, when we lost the 5 games at the end of the year, do any of these games so far at the end, or at least these two, does either one of these seem like it could be a trip up game for you between Carolina and Tennessee?
I can see Tennessee. It's because it's human nature.
Yeah,
you're going to see because who's right after Tennessee.
Yeah,
it's the Ravens. It's human nature. I don't care who you are. Like every athlete, you peek a little ahead. You want to say the right things. You want to focus on who's next. back of your mind, you're thinking, if we can win this game, running away, get the backups in, we get the rest, and then go into Baltimore. So we're a little bit fresher going into Baltimore. That this one might have the potential to be that one, just because it's human nature. The finish line is so close. It could happen, but I don't think it's going to happen with your Steelers.
I hope you're right. I hope we could win both of those games, Mike, because it comes down to the very last game against the Baltimore Ravens. I'm sure it's going to have implications for the playoffs, as it always does. No surprise that we finished in the last game of the season against the Baltimore Ravens. I don't think anybody's surprised about this, Mike. Again, finishing them off last season and eliminating them from the playoffs as their kicker, Looper. He loops one to the outside. Mike misses that field goal to the far right, and the Pittsburgh Steelers advance to the playoffs. Let's talk a little bit about this Ravens game. They have new coaches just like we do. They have new draft picks just like we do. This game is not going to be any different, Mike, than any Steeler Ravens brawls, in my opinion. It's going to be a battle. Yes, you're going to see different concepts. It's not going to be the same old John Harbaugh. It's not going to be the same Mike Tomlin. So there are going to be differences in this particular game. However, Mike, when it all comes down to it, in the dust settles, I think it turns into a Steeler Ravens game. And as I said earlier, I thought we win that first one, so maybe we lose this one. I don't want to give us a loss to finish out the season, but you know how these Ravens Steelers things go. We beat them 10 of the last 12 times we played them. So again, at some point, a law of average, they're going to have to win a game. And just because I took Baltimore in the first round, I'm going to have to give it to – I took the Steelers in the first time around. I'm going to have to give it to the Ravens this time. I don't want to, but again, I think it still falls under my my final record of what I think that it's going to be. So your thoughts on the Baltimore game to wrap up the regular season?
Yeah, I have this one as a loss as well, just because, like you said, I was feeling the same way about it. They're gonna find one. Find one. It's gonna be the last one, at Baltimore, and I don't think it's gonna affect our playoff seedings, and I don't think it's gonna affect their playoff seeding as well, because I don't think Baltimore is gonna make the playoffs. To me, that team still has a long way to go.
And in this game, Mike,
where they were.
This game we are, as of right now, again, way early. This game doesn't come all the way until the beginning of January, Mike. So here on May 15, as of right now, the Ravens are 5.5-point favorites in that game. And I think I might have messed up, or I didn't catch it. They're giving us 1.5 points against Tennessee. They're saying we're favored by 1.5. In Carolina, they're giving us a 3.5-point favorite status on that. So, Mike, the Ravens wrap up the season. This puts me at exactly is with the schedule that you have on your screen at 11-6 with my predictions. I do think at this point, if things play out the way that I think they're going to, which again, it could be totally thrown off by week one with a major injury. You don't know. But as of right now, I'm thinking 11-6, but I do have a bracket of records. I think it'll be between 10-7, 11-6, or 12-5. Yes, that is very it's a broad window, but at the end of the day, Mike, I think we fall in there. And if we do fall in there, I think it's going to be good enough. And again, if you fall 10-7, a lot of people are going to be saying, "Oh, are we going to be able to win that game in the playoffs?" If you finish 11-6, people will start talking a little bit better. And if you finish with that 12 wins, Mike, people are going to really be having a different conversation about you. So it falls in that bracket with me. I think it falls into those three records at the end of the day, but my primary prediction is 11-6 for the Steelers this year.
Yeah, that's mine. 11-6. My floor is 10-7.
Yeah, me too.
And my ceiling's 13-4.
See, I don't have them getting that. My ceiling's 12, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's basically the same.
That range, and based on of last year's team, how we improved. You're hoping an improved coaching staff and improved players. Yes, teams around us improved, but I don't think the rest of our division improved as much as we did. You can say Cleveland had a great draft. I'm still in the improve me stage with Cleveland. You have to show me. Like, if that was, like I said yesterday, if that was Baltimore's draft class, I would be fucking scared.
If Cleveland's success was based on how they drafted, Mike, they would be good all the time.
Yeah,
I mean, all their drafts are good. They're in position to get the best players every time. That's what makes it so puzzling.
Yeah, and like a lot of our out of conference games really don't scare me. I think we match up to them because, like I said, man, there's like 4 or 5 elite teams, probably like 5, 6 teams that suck, then everyone else is in the middle where it's a crapshoot every week. And that's where we are. And I think, say you will about the last 10 years of us playing in these tight games, this team knows how to eke out tight games no matter who the coach is going to be.
Absolutely.
Then you get a coach who's you're hopefully is going to have a more explosive offense. That for me, that's huge. People are discounting like what happened here for a long time because it kind of sucked what happened, but we know how to win tight games.
We've always have. Ever since the 70s, Mike, this team has always been good in tight games.
Yeah, we know how to win tight games. Now you get hopefully an offense coordinator / head coach who's going to have a better offense. For me, that's screaming big improvements than a lot of other people around the league when you take a look at everything that's happened collectively in the offseason. I think we're primed for an improvement.
I do too, and I hope you're right, and I think everybody hopes you're right at the end of the day. Yes, I mean, if we lose and end up getting a better position in the draft, I think that will be okay come next April. But right now, this is definitely not what people want to be thinking. They want to think wins, improve, get better, make the playoffs, win something, just move in the right direction, please. At the end of the day, that's all. I don't want to cut anybody down. I don't want to talk any shit on anybody. I just want to say, my opinion is let's win, let's get better, let's keep moving forward. And this is what I'm all about this year, and I hope it works out, Mike, because again, three of the head coaches in the AFC North are all new coaches, so we don't know what the hell we're going to get at the end of the day. And also, Mike, again, as you were saying about the outside the division, I think that's the key here because, again, no matter how you slice it, people are saying, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that. This is one of the easiest possible schedules you could really have, depending. It doesn't matter what they're telling us about the strength of schedules. Be realistic. Be realistic. Think to yourself, who are we playing? We're playing the AFC South, the weakest division in the AFC. We're playing the NFC South, clearly the weakest division in the NFC. And again, you get those 3 first place teams. They're going to be difficult games. No two ways about that. And then your division. I think we have the advantage of having the South. I'm sorry if I was saying West. The South divisions on our schedule, the AFC and the NFC South divisions on our schedule is a huge advantage. Not just us, but every team in our division, Mike. And for that reason, I think we're going to be successful. Again, you can't ask for 2 easier divisions to want to face off against. You couldn't. You couldn't. There's not historically to this point. Those are the 2 weakest divisions in the NFL.
Yeah, and I think we've matched up favorably against both of those divisions. Even the better teams, I still think Jacksonville should be tough, but I think that's winnable. I know I said a loss to Tampa Bay, but I think that's a very winnable game as well because those 2 teams they're right where we are. They're in that collective blob in the middle of the pack, and then it's just going to be a coin flip on that day of who's going to execute better. I think that's the thing. Who's going to execute better week in, week out? And that's going to be the big difference for us this year. If we execute up to our ability and this new coaching staff's game plan, that's why I think we might our ceiling is 13-3. This team, you saw that this team dragged themselves to a 10-7 record last year. Is it hard to imagine 3 more wins out of this team? If you think the coach's better, if you think
but those are the unknowns. We don't know. We don't know.
You don't know. But if you're all hyped, if you're a person who is hyped about the moves that happened, you could easily talk yourself into 3 extra wins.
You know what? I want to grab Ronald right here, guys. Ronald says this just recently on the board. He says, hey, we can all disagree about some things, which absolutely. He says this, however, the one thing that we could all agree on is that Colin Cowherd is a Steeler-hating freaking moron. I couldn't agree more. And also, this is another one I got, Mike. I brought this up early. Dan Orlovsky. Remember Dan Orlovsky?
Yeah.
He said we wasn't going to win a game for the first 2 months or whatever. Mm-hmm. Get this. Dan Orlovsky says this. You might want to be sitting down. Dan Orlovsky thinks the Steelers could lose the final 9 games. What the fuck is wrong with these people? You know that's not going to happen. Listen, under any circumstances, a team does – come on. For a team to lose 9 straight games to finish up a season is freakish for one. For a team that's always a competitive team no matter what – again, so there you go. Colin Cowherd, Mike, and again, Dan, let me just read that one more time, just in case you were listening and you thought, he didn't say that. That can't possibly be what came out of his mouth, Mike. Dan Orlovsky thinks the Steelers could lose the final 9 games of the season. What's your thoughts, please?
Like, does he forget we played the Ravens twice and we own their asses?
He forgets everything because again, like
Like
the Carolina Panthers and
the
the Tennessee Titans are in that
yeah,
group as well.
and those teams are not even. They've improved, but they didn't improve that much. And like you said, the Panthers are like NFC South okay.
Right.
The Broncos, we beat them 2 years ago. And
It was early. It was a different situation, but
different situation, but still, you know, like it's a psychological matchup that we know we can hang with them. The Eagles, for me, like the only real loss is the Eagles, and even the Texans is, like I said, if our O line improves throughout the year, well, we can go into that with a whole better matchup than we're looking right now. They're like the only guaranteed loss I literally see on the schedule is the Eagles, just because we haven't fucking won there since the Nixon administration or the
we're gonna
LBJ
win this one. I'm
administration.
telling you, that's a win this year.
Yeah, so it's to say that is stupid. Didn't he learn his lesson last year?
Jamal was like, who?
He's the Detroit Lions quarterback who ran out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah, he again, I think he said we were going to win a first game in the first 6 games of the year last year, which he was wrong. We were in first place. Matter of fact, I think we were 4-2 at that point. And now he's come out and say that we are going to lose the last night. What do you even do? Why do these people even get paid for their job? I mean, seriously, the Steelers are going to lose 9 games in a row to finish out the season. Who gives these people paychecks is the question that I have. Who?
9
Why?
games.
Why are you giving them paychecks, Mike? Why?
Hot takes. It's the era of hot takes.
I guess. Fucking annoying. I mean, seriously, do you really honestly go to bed and lay your head down at night and think that this is true? No, but you know what? It gets people to click on his stupid post. I guess I don't. I see the I read the headline and I just wrote it down. But Mike, there you go. Dan. Is he Dan Orlovsky? Mike predicts the Steelers will lose the final 9 games of the season.
That's insane. It was like, what, 2003 is the last time we lost 10 games?
Yeah.
And before that was 1999.
Yeah, I don't know. That has nothing to do with now, but the point being, like, that is just it's just a stupid. Again, he gets paid for this shit. Believe it or not.
The Steelers have not lost 9 games in a row in the modern era.
And yet, some reason this guy thinks it's such a good take.
The longest time they had a prolonged losing streak of that magnitude was 1944 when they lost 8 straight games to start the seasons, and that's why they were playing as the card pit. It's we had the Steagles and then with the card pit. So World War II. We had to go back to when we were fighting the Imperial Japanese Army in Nazi Germany to find the last time we lost 8 fucking games in a row.
And Italy. You know what? Italy always gets
skates by, bro.
They do. They talk about the World War II and the bad stuff from Hitler, which is really bad. But at the end of the day, you got to remember that Italy teamed up with the Germans in World War II. People don't bring that up.
They just skate by, baby. They sip their chow, sipping their cappuccinos.
They're always they're usually stuffed. They're usually stirring a big pot of spaghetti is what they're doing. Like I've never seen people stir spaghetti like the Italians. But yes, let's scoot on a little bit here, Mike. The Steelers are favored in 7 of their 17 games this year, and again, we did go through them in real time as we went through, Mike. And right now, as we speak, MGM has the Steelers over and under for the season at 8.5. So, do what you want with that.
That's about right.
What did Don Orlovsky? Was he involved in this?
Right. It's just comical, man. It's just comical.
Danny, I got to remember that. I keep calling him Donnie. But there you go, Mike. That is the schedule. That is what it looks like. That is the current point spreads. And again, Mike, MGM has the Steelers at 8.5 wins. I think if you're a gambler, you put your money on above over, because even Mike on a bad prediction, like say you take this schedule and you really put us in the worst case scenario in every game and kind of give an assessment, I still think we're better than 8 games.
Me too. Like I know it was like the joke when Tomlin's here. You're guaranteed at least 8 wins. I think on this roster, you're guaranteed at least 8 wins. Just looking at it, actually, you're probably guaranteed 9 wins. Just looking at this roster, especially if Rodgers comes back, the Wiley vets good. They're going to find ways to win games. That's why I'm saying for me the floor is 10 wins on this team.
Let's.
It's better than the team we had last year that eked out 10 wins.
I do want to say this, Mike. We only leave our times. I mean, it's not really we don't travel that much. The Steelers, literally, with the exception of the Saints game, of course, where we go to Europe, Mike, we only leave the time zone one time this season. So again, you have teams that are, that are playing from the West Coast. They're traveling. They're doing all this traveling, and a lot of people are complaining about our travel situation with playing overseas and then coming back, and that complaint. But at the end of the day, Mike, we leave the time zone one time. So again, at the end of the day, we have the South divisions, the NFC South, the AFC South, and also never leave our time zone. I just one time, technically two. But Mike, so we have things in our favor, certainly, that you have to look at as well when you're trying to predict these things and trying to figure out what a team is going to do. Again, Mike, the South divisions are the best case scenario for us this year. Again, any division would be better historically than those two divisions, Mike. I mean, think about, you don't want to play the NFC East right now. They got all, you got your Eagles, your Cowboys, all these squads. The NFC North we played last year, the Detroit. I mean, they're up and down. You don't know what you're going to get. Green Bay is always competitive. Those are the two best possible divisions that you want to play for the Steelers this year. New coaching staff, putting it all together, trying to figure it out. Mike, this again, the two Souths and leaving the time zone just twice.
Yeah.
In 5 months of football, that's something.
That's something you can stay. Your more or less your schedule can stay consistent throughout the entire year. You have that weird Thursday night game, the overseas game. My God, no real excuses for travel or anything like that. Not that they would do that, but it's set up nice for the Steelers, except for that stupid Thursday night game against the Browns. That's the only one I don't like. I hate all the primetime games late in the year because that kind of fucks me for work. I can't see some of these games live. That's some bullshit. Goodell fucking put our primetime games early in the year. You got to think about Vanilla Thunder. You got to think about Sosh. But yeah, this schedule kind of works out in our favor this year. Bye week at a great spot. Week 9 is damn near halfway through the year. It's perfect, man. Everything's lining up for the Steelers.
I agree. I know that a couple people on the board were talking about that yesterday, just the placement of the bye week. And I think that's a pretty good spot, Mike, right around week 9. Again, people didn't want it super early. But at the end of the day, if it's too late, then every week you're kind of thinking, okay, how many more weeks till this bye? We got to get healthy. Yep. We got to kind of hit that reset button. I like it at week 9, Mike. Again, I think a lot of things are kind of falling in place. I'm not saying they're not falling in places for other teams as well. Yes, Cleveland had a good draft. Yes, the Browns are going to have an easier schedule. All these things that are being said, Mike, they are ideal. But for us, the things that we have to worry about, the things that concern us, I do feel that some of these are best case scenario. Again, the South divisions, you couldn't ask for a better schedule. Sometimes they don't fall in the same season, by the way the schedule is built. So again, to get both South divisions, never leaving your time zone, these are things that I think that you would certainly have to put into that as you were trying to figure your schedule out for the season. If you were looking in depth, for sure. A couple of things, Mike, and we are going to get back to the board in just a second. And I apologize. Today is the big schedule release. Last night, of course, was. But I do want to say this: if you are looking to get individual tickets for the Steeler games, they are on sale right now. As of 1 hour and 3 minutes ago, they went on sale 1:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you do want to jump on and be an early bird, individual ticket sales go on sale today, 1:00 p.m. They are out there. You could be already have your ticket ready to go by now, if that's what you wanted to do. A few things, Mike, and we're going to get back to the board for the duration of the show. We do apologize, but that's the nature of today's show. But I see everybody's they're really moving along well on the board today. A lot of interesting conversations. I'm certainly keeping an eye on my other screen here. But we're going to get to the board in just 1 second. A few things I do want to talk about briefly. Before we do that, I want to say this. Like there's analysts out there, and I didn't catch the name, and I do apologize, but there's analysts out there that are high on the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line saying they could go even far as seeing potential Pro Bowlers, Mike, this season from this offensive line. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, you don't know who this tackle is, you don't know who this guard is. I think at the end of the day, Fatanu's play has been so strong, and Frazier's play has been so strong that I think, Mike, if they have a good season, these two guys could easily be Pro Bowlers this year.
Yeah, and Frazier has an outside shot of being all pro.
He does.
Yeah, that's how good he is. Like,
and then once you get into that brotherhood,
you're
set.
Yeah, you're in there. Yeah, for those two definitely. And I was a couple weeks ago, someone put up a cut up of Fotanu against some of the best pass rushers in the NFL, where he's just the move that he was doing it was the snatch and grab, just dropping these dudes to the ground and just throwing them out of the play. It's how quick his hands were moving, how strong he was to jab them and just throw them down and completely wash them out. And then there was another cut up of him just bullying people in the run game. Like, he's primed to have a breakout year, either if he's on the right side or the left side. Dude is just an athletic freak. Frazier is already after his rookie year is talked about as being like a top 3 center in the NFL. I put him up there like people like Creed Humphreys, Tyler Lindenbaum, who just got paid huge money. He's in there with those 3. It kind of sucks that they're all 3 in the AOC, so it's kind of hard to get that all-pro nod. But primed for a Pro Bowl right there. And I've seen rankings where at some services were saying like the Steelers after last year had a top 8, top 10, top 12 offensive line. So like sky's the limit for this young unit, and I'm loving the 2 new coaches that we have for this O-line. And even our running back was a former running backs coach was a former offensive lineman in the NFL. So like you have a dearth of NFL knowledge that's going to be training these guys. One of them, Jari Evans, a Hall of Famer, passing on his knowledge too. This unit can take a quantum leap this year.
I'm catching a couple of messages out of the corner of my eye. Cody from a little bit ago, he says this. He says, you would think that McCarthy has an inside on Philadelphia. He played them twice a year, of course, when coaching Dallas. Certainly, I mean, that could play some role into it, of course. Philadelphia is good. When it comes down to getting teams that are very talented like that, they're just tough to beat. But that's possible, Cody. That's a good point that you made. Also, I do want to go back a couple of messages here, Mike. And I'm going to talk about 2 other things before we do get back to the board. However, I did see here somewhere. I don't know where it went. So let me finish what I was saying, Mike. Jennings Dunker, everybody's favorite so far. Everyone loves the mullet. Mike, he can be the heir apparent, if you will, the heir apparent to the left guard position. So what was said about the offensive line here? I mean, a couple of these guys could potentially be Pro Bowlers, certainly as early as this year. How do you feel that left side of the line is going to be built? Because again, I think a lot of people are just thinking it's going to end up playing out like where you're going to probably move Fatone to the other side. You're probably going to go IMAX on the right. You're hopefully going to have Dunker. I mean, just being a fan favorite, they think he's going to be the guard. Mike, how do you realistically see the offensive line looking? And again, I know there's a whole lot of things going on between now and September 13. How do you feel the offensive line looks come week 1, barring there's no injuries?
Week 1, I see Sayamalo. Jesus God, Mike. Fatanu, McCormick on your left side, Frazier in the middle, Hoffman to start at right guard, and then Mad Max to start at right.
And I know that's not a popular take, but you know what? That's more realistic just because Hoffman is a veteran, Mike, where Dunker is a rookie, but that doesn't mean that Dunker won't be finishing the job.
Yeah, and Dunker's moved from outside to inside. They said, we love his athletic ability, his demeanor and everything, and his want-to. He still has stuff to learn to go in there. It could be Hoffman. It could even be Dylan Cook starting at your guard, one of those 2 guys right there. But I think at the end, by the end of the year, I think Dunker can work himself into that right guard spot. And I think that's going to be the line of the future. But I think week 1 is probably going to be Hoffman at right guard.
I do want to say also, I randomly caught that Steel Loyal. He said, I hope you're right, Ryan, about the Philadelphia game because that is his birthday, November 22nd. Write it down on the calendar. We'll certainly celebrate your birthday, especially if the Eagles could pull that off. Steel, I hope that I'm right as well. Mike, also, I do think let's have a brief word about Aaron Rodgers. You know, I hate the situation. I talk about it all the time. It's no surprise. Let me tell you what Cam Hayward had to say about this. Now, before I give this information out, I want to preface it by saying, remember last year when Aaron was holding out and Cam Hayward says this: you either want to be here or you don't. In anger, Cam Hayward said those words to Aaron Rodgers. You either want to be here or you don't. Let me tell you what Cam Hayward says yesterday.
Oh, I like this.
Cam Hayward isn't worried about Aaron Rodgers. He says this quote, bro, chill out. He'll get here when he gets here. It's the middle of summer. If anyone knows the system better than Aaron, it's Aaron. And he's not a big proponent into having his long training. This long training, I think he trains well on his own. He knows what his body needs at this point, Mike. Cam Hayward singing a totally different tune from last year at this time, saying either you want to be here or you don't.
Yeah.
Mike.
So I've read that too. And like a couple thoughts were like, okay, you learned your lesson. Don't speak out of turn.
Well, that and we didn't do anything different than Kenny Pickett's team did. So,
or does he know that Aaron's coming back?
Exactly.
And he knows he's going to be here for training camp for the meat and potatoes of it, and that's just what I'm thinking right there.
Mike, it's like eating your pudding and without eating your meat. You know, what's the old song? How you gonna eat your pudding if you haven't had any meat? That Aaron Rodgers is living it up, Mike. He's getting his cake, he's eating it too, and he's even taking some and smashing it on people's faces that he doesn't like. Again, you know how I feel on this, but at the end of the day, Mike, I agree with what you said. I think that they know he's coming back. Don't get me wrong. Again, other than that, you're just messing around with us. At the end of the day, because at the end of the day, what's it matter to Baltimore if our 43-year-old quarterback comes back? You know what I mean? What? Again, the secrecy of the team, it's become very non-transparent, where it used to be more transparent. I don't see that the problem with, why don't you just come on and tell us the truth? If that's the case, if you know he's coming back, just say, hey, you guys are Steeler fans. I think that they have a right to know. Every other team in the league knows who their quarterback is going to be still. So this is why, again, Aaron Rodgers, this whole experiment, I don't like it. I don't love it. Come give us some wins this year and get the hell out of here. That's my opinion on Aaron.
The more he's away for these activities, I like it because it's given more opportunities for Drew Aller and Will Howard to get some reps in,
which is good for the future. But there's a future that's before that future. It's called.
I know there's the now, but for me, and as long as you're here by training camp, that's all I give a fuck about. That's where the meat and potatoes happen. And that's where the real shit takes place. That's the.
Because to me, like,
those are the best practices.
It literally only the people that are being held in the dark is Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Because other teams don't give two shit. For one, he's not a threat that people are going to sit around and go, oh my God, are they going to have their Patrick Mahomes? Yeah. He's a 43-year-old has-been, and they don't want to give us information. That's bullshit. Again, this Aaron Rodgers experiment, it's lame. It's bogus. And again, when it's done, I will not miss it. Yes, come get us some wins now, whatever you got to do. But at the end of the day, I will not miss this at all. I've never seen anything like this. Certainly not in our franchise history. And I don't think it's fun. I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's entertaining. I think it's bullshit, and I think that people are annoyed by it. Again, you can't tell the fans of our team who our quarterback is going to be. You're going to play these games. Oh, well, he might be coming in. Oh, he's coming in. He's not here. Bullshit. I'm so over Aaron. Again, I don't know if either of these other guys are going to be the guy when it's all said and done, but I know that I'm ready for Aaron again. I'll take one more year because he does give us the best opportunity to win games, but he's probably going to ride that line with me all season. Like he probably is. Again, he's going to be out there giving people hell when they run the wrong way. And you know what? If you don't work with the guy and have it practice and timing is such a big thing, and you don't develop timing by not participating together. But again, they will have camp. They won't play together in preseason because Aaron don't play that. I'm just kind of, me personally, I'm not going to badmouth the guy. I'm just going to say I personally am kind of annoyed. And that's an understatement about Aaron Rodgers in the situation.
Just say he's going to be
buying all your tickets. Come on, get your tickets, get your apparel, get all your Steelers stuff. Come down to our events. But we're not going to tell you who our quarterback is going to be. No, And again, believe me, Baltimore's not over there worrying about if Aaron Rodgers is going to be the quarterback of the Pitt. But believe me, they're not. They're hoping. Probably, there's some teams that are probably hoping that Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback at the end of the day. Again, just my opinion. I'll be happy to see it going.
I'm just not letting it affect me.
Yeah,
But I understand trust me, dude. I 100% understand where you're coming from.
Listen, if Derpy came tomorrow and we wanted to put on if we had a certain plan for the show, a certain bit, would you be, and I know he's not Aaron Rodgers. That's the point. That's not the point. The point being, would you have faith in Derpy coming on tomorrow after he hasn't been on for 3 weeks and expect him to perform well in the bit that we're going to do? No. Even if I texted him today and gave him the bit and had him think it over 53 times, do you think it would go well? It's just the same thing. Yes, Aaron is not Derpy. I get that, and I acknowledge that, and that could obviously be a joke. But at the end of the day, Mike, it's just if you have 31 other teams getting together and preparing, and then this team doing this, okay, it's understandable to say, okay, let them do it, whatever. But at the end of the day, you're going to be coming up against 31 other teams that's going to try to win a game in February, and they are participating together. They are learning each other. They are learning what each other is doing without even speaking. You know, the things that happen when you have communication.
And that's why they have training camp.
And I get that, Mike. But again, training camp's only a couple of weeks. You're already in the preseason before you know it, and you know damn well he's not going to play.
We don't know. He might play this year with the new coach. You never know.
You're right. But from what we know, Mike, and again, I understand you pick and choose what it is that you want to argue, and I understand that this is a really dumb thing to argue against because there's nobody in any situation that would think that this is an ideal situation. This only works for Aaron and me as a Steeler fan. That doesn't sit well with me. That doesn't sit well. It's about the team. It's always been about the black and gold here in Pittsburgh, and now it's all about Aaron. And say what you want. That's what it is. All right. I just don't let
it affect me. He's not here right now. He's not a part of the team. The team's working with the people that they got right now, and it sounds like they're comfortable. If he doesn't come back, they're going to rock with one of those three quarterbacks.
Maybe if he would have participated more with Roman Wilson in some ways, maybe Roman would have got the ball thrown to him more. I mean, all I'm saying is, Mike, we're at a disadvantage because 31 other quarterbacks are preparing, and our quarterback is playing games. And again, I hope this is the last run for him. Please, 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 if you're listening or the aliens are coming back or whatever the hell the next step is with this disaster we have going on this planet, please let this be Aaron Rodgers last year. I can't do it anymore.
I hope we sign him to a 3-year extension.
There's no way. No,
just because I'd like to see you get riled up, brother.
And Mark's saying the same thing, and I disagree with you guys. Again, it's okay. Listen, if we would have came out last year and did great, his numbers were okay, but at the end of the day, he went 10-7, lost in the playoffs. That is no different than anything that we went through with Charlie, or not Charlie, but Mitch, and Kenny, and Russell, and Justin, and every other situation that we found to be undesirable. It was the same exact result. So maybe, just maybe, if they would participate, if they would prepare more together, maybe that would increase, be better. I just, again, Mike, I understand that you're going to take that side, so I'm not letting myself get upset about it, but I can't understand why people are okay with this when you want the best thing for your team. I just don't feel that this is the best thing for our team.
Oh, I don't know. I'm all about a training camp is more important than these little mini camps and
those 2 weeks. Again, you can learn things. You can learn people in these little camps. You can learn what they like to do. You can learn what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, instead of walking into the last minute, taking paperwork, looking at it. Again, we have a difference of opinion. I'm okay with that because I would rather my quarterback be involved. Call me crazy. Let's get back on the board though, Mike. Again, it's just the nature of the way the show went today. I do apologize, everybody. Let's get some opinions on how things are looking, Mike, for our schedule. We do have the new schedule released last night, 8:00, the official release. Also, Mike, the individual ticket sales for the Steelers are now available. Get on, order your tickets right now. As of the last hour and 18 minutes, tickets go on sale 1:00 today, Mike. So be sure, everybody, to get on if you want to be the early bird. Some people like to get in there and get their stuff early. Individual ticket sales on sale today for the Pittsburgh Steelers. There you go, Mike. 2 of the 3 games also this year in preseason here in Pittsburgh. So that's cool too. Not really meaningful in any way, but at the end of the day, it allows you to get down to the North Shore and see your team.
Hell yeah, man! Like, if you can't make it to one of the regular games, go and get one of the preseason games.
Yeah, Mike, could you do me a big favor?
Yeah.
Can you just go ahead and pull up last year's standings? Where you have all four divisions on the left, all four divisions on the right. I just want to talk real briefly about the way the schedule is made up. And if you have a visual you can put up on the screen, because some people don't. Some people were asking about it. Some people were requiring, and like I said, it's a very easy thing. And if you do understand the process, just bear with me, because again, maybe everybody doesn't understand. But if you want to figure out next year's schedule, it's very easy to do. As a matter of fact, I can tell you mostly what our next year's schedule is going to be right now. You're going to be playing San Francisco. You're going to be playing the Rams. You're going to be playing Seattle and Arizona. Also, next year, we're going to be playing Denver, Kansas City, the Raiders, and the Chargers. Next year, we're going to be playing the team that finishes in the same spot as us in the NFC North. So we would finish in first, and the Lions would finish first. We would play them next year, and then we would play the division winners from the two AFC teams that were not in against their division this year. And again, with it being on the screen, it'd be a little bit easier for me to lay that out. But guys, you can figure out the Steelers schedule like that. And then when the season's over, you basically, instantly who we play. It just comes down to the dates and times. Mike's going to throw that up real quick. And again,
you want it from what, last year's standings?
Yeah, any of them. As long as I have the AFC East, North, Southwest, the way that it's always written in every format, just throw that up there with the AFC and the NFC standings from last year or the year before or 20 years ago. It doesn't matter. So again, I do. If you do get it, just bear with me again, because I understand that maybe not everybody knows. So let's take a look here. As you see on the screen, the Steelers right now, you see where they're at, and this is actually not written out right, as a matter of fact. So I'm going to
best I can find in short notice.
Let me ask you a favor. Could you do me a favor? Could you pull it up where it's done right, where it's east, north, west, or east, north, south, and west? East, north, south, and west. That's generally how it's written, and that's the pattern that it goes. So if you could pull that up, it'd be great. Again, I do apologize, everybody. But again, some people don't understand that, and it could be figured out easily. As a matter of fact, I already told you 14 of the 17 games for next year's schedule, and just all depending where we finish, that is how you fill out the other three teams at the end of the day. Mike is looking for that. Again, east, north, south, and west is the standard that they use. So once Mike gets that up, we will look at that briefly. We're going to get to these messages. As a matter of fact, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit here. I want to thank everybody today. Lots going on the board. Everybody's excited about the new release of the schedule, of course. A couple I caught along the way. Let me go here to Steel Loyal. He says, like father, like son, Charles Woodson Jr. is committed to the University of Michigan per Shefty. If he's anything like his dad, man, watch out. Let's go to Ty. Ty says, I'm getting Bernard and Frazier jersey this year, and Loyal might get Bernard and Troy. Tyrone says, offensive line deserves love too. Yeah, do you want me to pull it up? Do you want me to find it?
I found one, but now the pictures are all blurry because it's, trying to find the divisions like the way you want it, searching by images, and it's everything but what we're looking for.
You want me to get Derpy to get this?
Derpy can get it.
No, he can't. I don't know. Look a little bit more. Let me go let's go to Lindsay. Lindsay says she's excited for Harmon this year. Me too. Because you figure as a rookie, what the difference he made on that defensive line. Very excited about him. Let's jump here to Steel Loyal. I'm getting Bernard, JPJ, Troy, and Dunker. Tyrone says, me too. Harmon cold as fuck. Also, Tyrone says, you better get JPJ for show. Ty says this, everybody should be getting JPJ jersey. Simple. Ty says, Ryan, you need a JP. You know what? I will. I'll get a JPJ. I'm due for a new jersey. I'm due. I could get a JPJ. Tortilla says JJJPPP. Steel Loyal says this. Fatano left tackle, Dunker left guard, Frazier center, McCormick right, and of course Mad Max at right tackle. Let's go here to Somber. Somber says this. Don't be surprised if Cook moves inside. Interesting. Robert, dude, what's up? Great seeing Robert. And again, if I'm missing anybody, I do apologize. I do acknowledge you're here, and I will acknowledge you're here ultimately. And I read every message. So if I missed you, I apologize. I do want to say what's up to Robert. Welcome. Good afternoon to you, sir. He says McCormick is staying at right guard. Somber says, of course, Cam would feel that way. He doesn't want to go to camp either. I know. Speaking of the guy that takes most of the week off during camp or during the season anyway, right? Steel Loyal says, LOL, I had chocolate pudding earlier. Vegas, when have you ever had cake and not eaten it? That's a good point, Vegas. That's a really good point. Let's go to Dude, my man. Always great seeing Dude in the house. Dude says this, I wouldn't mind him getting good the first game. I know. Let's do Scoot here to Vegas. He says, you can't, with the cake again, he goes on. He says, you can't eat your cake and still have it, as the old saying that we bastardized until you can't have your cake and eat it too. Always learning something I am. Even at this point in my life, it's always something to learn. Mike, how is the standings coming out?
Well, I have one, but it's not the actual standings, but it's a good representation.
Okay, throw it up. Let's see what we got. All right, so you're seeing right here on the screen.
I'm getting there.
All right, here we go. Okay, this is perfect.
There we go.
This is exactly what I wanted. So,
wait, do you know how long it took me to find this?
Derpy, relax. Listen, so here.
Fuck you.
Here's what we got, man. We have, okay, so take a look. If you don't understand, again, if you do, I apologize. Just bear with me because maybe somebody doesn't, and I like to have everybody up to date. So you see on the screen, this is how the standard format is that you go by to any newspaper you open. This is how it's going to be. It's going to be AFC East, North, South, and West, and then NFC the same exact way. So here's how it goes, guys. As you notice, we are playing, see where we're at, the AFC North. Circle right below that the AFC South and the NFC South. That is the divisions we're on. Every season it goes down. And the reason I needed this order is because that makes a big difference. It'll continue to go down. So next season, the AFC West and the NFC West will be on our schedule. Okay. In the following season, the AFC East, it just goes right up to the top. 2 years from now, it's going to be the AFC East and the NFC East. And then the following year is where it gets screwy because it won't be the same two divisions because you see how the divisions lie. So next year, it's going to be the AFC West, the NFC West. It'll be our division, which is 6 games, and that leaves 3 games. That leaves 3 games left. That will be the first place team from the 2 AFC divisions that we're not playing. So we will be playing the AFC West, those 4 games, and let's say we finish in first, just for the sake of this conversation. We'll play the first place team from the AFC South and the first place team from the AFC East. And then the NFC now, Mike, has the oddball division since they added the 17th game. So our oddball game out of the NFC still goes in order. So we're on the NFC East this year with the Eagles. Next year, just going to go right down to the NFC North, and we will play the first place team from that division. Again, if we finish second, we'll play the second place team from that division in the 2 AFC divisions. That is exactly how it's figured out, guys. It never changes. It just goes in order. As long as you have your general format set up, you could look at how the schedule was formed every year. I can tell you exactly who we're going to play next year. Like I said, till those last 3 games. But that will be who we play next season. It will be the NFC West, the AFC West, our division, and then the team that finishes the same spot that we do in the other 2 AFCs in that one oddball NFC division. And again, that continues to go in order as well. NFC East this year with the Eagles, next year NFC North, following year the NFC South, following the NFC West. If you have this format and you're used to this, and this is what you look at and look for, this is where you finish out that schedule. And again, you won't have to wait so long. You could finish out the day when the season ends, Mike. As long as you know where those the first place teams are, that is how they figure it out. So there you go. Again, if you knew that, thank you for your patience. And if not, I hope I was able to help out a little bit, Mike, because again, it's very simple. It's a very simple formula, but it has to be. It has to be in that format.
I was wondering why, I thought, man, my guy's tism is off the charts right now.
Well, it is.
Now I understand. But I understand now. And
you know,
I don't work well under pressure. And like Vegas said, there was talk about cake. I'm thinking about cake, trying to find this thing. I was all over the place.
Let me go right here, Christine. I just jumping randomly on Christine's message. She says, "I feel like I could predict every one of these games if Tallman was coaching." Now, that's what I'm saying. I like this too, Christine. The change is nice. Again, it became predictable, as a lot of things did under the last coaching staff. And again, I'm not bad. I'm just saying things became predictable, and I agree with you. So again, I'm all for this new experience. I really am. Let's learn about our squad. Let's go here to Ronald. He says, I want Aaron back, guys. I want to see him with a true offensive genius like McCarthy, and with a true second wide receiver like Michael Pittman, and with McCarthy creating plays for our tight end. Hey, you know what? That would work. I mean, if it works, it works. And I would be happy with it if, in fact, it all played out. John, dude said it's okay for all of us to say F Aaron Rodgers in the franchise for letting this happen and still help for the best winning season. Exactly. That's what fans do. You know, I'm sure there's a lot worse fans than we are out there that expect a lot worse and more unrealistic situations, I would imagine. Cleveland, need I say more? Let's go to Vegas. Vegas says this: Aaron is going to be quarterback one for the next 2 seasons. I just wish you would stop saying that, everybody. But I could take one more. I could take one more. I don't know about 2.
Give me 4 more years.
4 more years.
I jump off the Clemente Bridge if that happened.
Yeah, me too. I'd push you, and then I would go do something else. But I would eventually jump off myself. Let's scoot along here to Jamal. He says A-Rod doesn't seem to care anymore, and I'm sure he has what it takes to win a Super Bowl. And again, I just think it's the best. It's our best chance of winning football games this year, as of right now. Again, there's no other magic that we could pull out of the air and run with. There's just not. He is our best opportunity to win football games this year.
He is.
Tortilla says this: bro, y'all letting the media tell y'all things. The players love A-Rod and the best quarterback we've had since Ben. Absolutely. Let the projects learn behind the Hall of Famer. Tyrone, my man, says this: Christine, exactly how I tried to tell you that yesterday. This isn't a Tomlin team anymore. We don't know what we're going to look like. And I like the change. I like the change. I think today just maybe our question of the day maybe regarding coaches with how they handled their records, perhaps. That's all I'm going to give you. Let's go right here to Steel Loyal. Steel Loyal says this: A-Rod hasn't said a single word to the media. I'm sorry. All of y'all should just rule with what other people said. All of y'all just rule with other people said. LOL. Yinzer Joe says this: it's just another Mike with relatively the same record as Tallman. Coaching will end the season the same way, chanting fire McCarthy. Let's go to Ty. Ty says facts loyal around Mad Chillin' we had when we had signed and showed up and ready to win. Christine says this. She says, I do think with us not getting the bye after Paris, that will end up being a division loss for us against Cincinnati in week 8. You know what? I mean, it's possible. It's possible. And because Cincinnati knows how to play us, obviously, you know, they're in our division. This is a team that beats us once every year for the most part. So, you know what? That's a valid point, Christine. Let's go here to Vegas. So everyone is saying Aaron is going to be quarterback one for the next 2 seasons. Oh, stop it. But yeah, some people were saying that, unfortunately. Let's go to Ty. He says, Cleveland never beats at home. Tyrone says they beat us at Cleveland. That's it. Hey, it's been since the early 2000s. That's unbelievable in itself, Mike, if you think about it. Early 2000s was the last time the Browns were able to muster up a win in Pittsburgh.
That's insane. That is fucking insane.
It really is. Steel Loyal board is flying today. We don't expect. I know, and I thank you for acknowledging that. Thank you, Steel. I try my best, and again on a day like this with a special topic, it's definitely hard. But you guys always roll with the punches. You guys are amazing. We couldn't ask for any better. Thank you so much, everybody. Christine says I do think we'll sweep Cincinnati and the Ravens, but but the Browns might sweep us. Why am I? Christine's like the only other person I'm really hearing that's kind of confident about the Browns. Besides myself, I think. Listen,
is she a closet Browns fan?
No, she's not. Stop! Don't you ever say that again. But listen, one thing that I do acknowledge is their defense is good. Yes, they lose their defensive coordinator. I get that, but if you have a top defense the way that they do, you know, it might be not that difficult to transition to a different coaching staff at least. Also, they had a hell of a draft, Mike. 2 of those receivers we would have certainly taken. Also, Fanu, we wanted. And finally, at the end of the day, what's the kid's name, the quarterback that gets drafted later? This is the kid that
Green.
Green. He's somebody that people on our board certainly would have liked. So at the end of the day, Mike, their draft it was nice. It was pretty.
Yeah, and McNeil Warren, the safety.
Taylor Green.
Yeah, Taylor Green, the quarterback. McNeil Warren, the safety in the second round. Like even their third round tackle, Barber, he was someone I was looking at too for a late third, early fourth round pick if we didn't want to go tackle, if we want some different positions. I like their draft, but again, this is the Browns. How many great drafts have they had? And they've had one playoff win since they've come back as the Browns. They consistently pick in the top 10 and they don't do anything with them. So I'm like, it's great, but I have no faith that they're going to be able to do anything with those kids.
Taylor Green is the name we were trying to think of. So that's another name on top of the safety. That's a pretty draft, if you're asking me. And again, at the end of the day, they've been kind of improving in the sense where they do beat the Steelers once every year. So again, this is a team that I feel better about than maybe the Ravens, even at this point.
Yeah.
But we don't know, of course, even what Minter is going to do with that Ravens squad. I think he's the Ravens coach. Is it Minter that's over there?
Yeah, Minter's over there.
So we'll be learning a lot of things for sure moving forward. And I do want to say this real quick. I always want to stop, Mike. Get your notification ready. I do want to say thank you to Tortilla Jackson. Tortilla for the super chat. Mike Tortilla says Christine is on Tater's couch right now.
Oh,
please give me the eye. There it is. I hate everything.
That's damn. I see. I thought my comment was too far. Tortillas might have taken the cake.
Yes. But thank you so much, Tortilla, for the super chat. We certainly appreciate it. Very, very generous of you. Thank you, sir. Let's go right here to Christine. I got to go down a little bit further, actually. I apologize. Let's go right here. Tyrone, crazy talk. Still loyal. Hell yeah, Ryan. Tortilla brooms aren't allowed in Cleveland. Cleaning never gets done up there. If you've ever been there, just kidding. It actually is a nice city. Let's go to, but I'll never admit it. Shh. This is just between us. Nobody else ever will hear that. Let's go to Vegas. Vegas says this Philadelphia Thunder is slacking. He should already have that pick saved in the NFL file already.
Who said that?
I'm not going to tell because I like it. And I think that this person is going to be one of our, he's going to be your boss is what I'm saying. This guy's going to work over you from now on. Mike Vegas says Vanilla Thunder is slacking. He should already have that pick saved.
Then he said, Vegas also said I was the one distracted by cake.
Right.
Vegas is working up on that board with Cody.
What about, the list, Mike?
The list. You know what? I think I'm on vacation from work. I might do a little arts and crafts and make the list.
All right, fair enough. Let's move along, though. Thank you for the comments, of course, everybody. Let's go to Christine. I think we lose to the Broncos and Eagles, but we whoop the Texans. Man, I hope you're right. And the thing is, it's not possible. It's not impossible because, again, it's different. It's different this year. It's not the same coaching. It's not the same game plan. So it's possible. It is possible, Mike. At the end of the day, I really have a sour feeling in my stomach from that from that game in January. The fact the way that we were just not able to do anything.
Yeah,
they were just feasting on us, and that's all I keep reliving in my mind. You know.
Yeah. God, I hope we can turn it around this year.
I would just as I think Ryan would say no to Tom Brady if he wanted to return and play. If he was in shape and it was willing to participate with the team, yeah. If he came out of nowhere and just said, "Could I play for you this Sunday?" I'd say hell no. But if you'd want him to participate, wouldn't you? You'd want him to practice. You'd want him to get in it with the other guys. And I'm just teasing, Mike. I am not giving Vegas a job where he's going to be your boss. But at the end of the day, it was funny. It was funny because it only took you about 6 hours to find that. But that's all right.
I'm sorry, dude. Your tism was off the charts on that one, brother. I was scared for my life. I was afraid to get the wrong one. I might get fired from my own show.
Let's keep moving along right here. Let's go to Steel Loyal. Cleveland prefers their floors to be dirty. They don't do brooms. Vegas says this. Oh no, Vanilla Thunder is now focused on cake. No wonder we couldn't get the information we needed. These guys were talking about cake. Let's go to Christine. Christine says W against Atlanta, but I see us taking a loss to the Patriots. Absolutely, that's where I'm at too, Christina. I can see Atlanta being a very winnable game for us, and I can see again, even Mike, if we didn't get those 5 turnovers. Let me ask you this: last year when we did play New England earlier, and we went up there and we got 5 turnovers and we beat them 21-14, if I'm remembering right, Mike. Let's say we only get 2 of those turnovers. We lose this game 20-14. How do you feel about, and New England goes on to the Super Bowl, and everything else after that plays out the way that it did? How would you feel about the New England game this year? With that being said, because now people are kind of giving us, Steeler fans are kind of taking the benefit of the doubt. We beat these guys last year, and a lot of people were thinking that it could happen again. But again, it took a lot of things that really went our way in order for us to even win that game by the touchdown that we won by. Mike, what team is the real New England? What team should we be expecting week 2 this year when we go up to Foxborough?
That New England team we saw in the Super Bowl they did not look good. Or was that Seattle defense just that dominant? I think New England's they're a good young team, but I think they're really beatable. Yeah, it took us 5 turnovers to do it, but guess what? We made the plays. They choked. They did not rise to the occasion in the clutch moment in that game. They didn't rise to the occasion into the Super Bowl. So I think this is a very winnable game for the Steelers, but I have it as a loss because we're going up to New England. We tend to not do well there. And, it's early in the year. But I can easily see us winning that game, just like we did last year. And I think our offense is going to be better. And, their coach, what's going on up there?
Yeah.
Is he going to be distracted like they're saying in the chat? Is he going to be in the stands looking for his wife and his side piece at the same time, making sure they're not around? So there's a lot going on up there. Just outside of what's going on.
Like, are you thinking could this possibly be one of those seasons, like a shit the bed season? It happens.
I think so.
Good teams have shit the bed seasons, and all these things that you're saying could possibly lead to a shit the bed season. And I got to be honest, I would love that, because again, that would just eliminate somebody from the AFC that's in the same running as we are. So you eliminate a team from that. I wouldn't mind New England shit in the bed, Mike, but that team, again, they're always solid. They're like we are in a way, Mike. This team always wins football games. They always find ways, even if things aren't ideal. Again, take this team back to the 90s. We had a hard time beating New England, even before Bledsoe. Mike, we had a hard time. They were always a solid organization. They were always a difficult team to beat. So again, at the end of the day, I don't think that's going to change, but I would certainly take a shit the bed season, because again, the coaches and Vrabel and everything they have going on.
And we've seen this, like, with teams that have arrived earlier than they probably should have, take steps back to where, like this New England team, they were on the rise, but they're a young team, and they got to the promised land, lost, and not many quarterbacks and teams make it back and win it again. Like Philly did it, but when was the last team to do it before them? It was a long, long time ago. Absolutely. You had to go back to Elway's Broncos, and that took them a long time to get back there and win it. So I think this team may have shot their load way early, and it's going to take them time to build that back up.
Let's get back on the board right here. Steel Loyal. Steel Loyal says, Christine, Mike Vrabel going to be daydreaming that game we beat the Pats. Let's scoot forward a little bit right here. Let's go Tyrone, Christine, one game at a time. Steel Loyal, man, I miss my family. Oh shit, it's 4th down. Let's go here to Tortilla. Vrabel is going to ask Rodgers how he hides his wife. Hey, you know what? If there's anybody to ask, I guess AR would be the one, right? She's still a mystery to this day. Vegas says Mike needs a DNA Mike needs a DNA test on her kid named Mike. If it's not his, she is dirty as fuck. Is this all about Mike Vrabel?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I don't know the story. I chose to pay little attention. So let me try this again. Mike needs a DNA test on her kid named Mike. If it's not his, she is dirty as fuck for naming her son after the man she's been cheating with for a year. Okay. I have zero interest in this story, but that's just me. Let's scoot up here to Christine. She says, whatever way I look at it, though, we end up 11-6, 10-7 at the worst, and that's where I'm at, Mike. I have my bracket again. I say 10-7 is the floor. I think 13 wins is a little bit too much. My 12-5 season is my ceiling, but I would love a 13-win season.
Yeah, I just say, there's the potential there for it, but I think it's a long shot to get the 13 wins, but it's, just go based on what, people are saying. The fans are saying, the board's saying everything's changed. It should be better. So that's why I'm putting it out there. 13 is the ceiling for me based on what everyone's saying.
Vegas is Maury. Is Maury still alive? Maury who?
Maury Povich. You're not the father. Me and my buddy, we'd always watch it before classes in college, and we would sit there and practice "You're Not the Father" dance.
All right. Let's go right here. Do the Tomlin-tism. Tortilla says, Vegas, I knew it. He says, Tyrone, I'm sorry, long as we make it to the playoffs, it gives us a chance. That's all you could ask for. You don't make the playoffs, there's no chance still. So making the playoffs obviously is a big thing. Vegas says this, you weren't alone. You weren't alone, Vanilla Thunder. Tyrone says we actually have an offense this year, and this is one thing that I'm super excited about. Christine says this, Rossini's husband has been planning this shit for a while. Maybe I got to pay attention to this story. I think it's just because I don't have any interest in New England at all, the Patriots, these guys. I don't care. But you know what? It's going to affect them, hopefully. In our favor. Let's go to Ronald. He says, here we go. Ronald Yinzer, you're talking to us like we were students from the head of the class geniuses. We are Steeler fans. We are more like sweat hogs. Love the sweat hogs. Up your nose with a rubber hose. I love them. Let's scoot up here to Vegas. He says this, he needs to be the victim to get child support and alimony, right? Let's scoot here to Jamal. He says, we play to win chips. Following up by Jamal says, the moon ball from Russ was better than watching Aaron check down all year. But remember Russ's check downs. It was the same exact story. It was the same exact thing.
Moon ball or check down or throw it out of bounds.
Vinny Barbarino. Hell yeah. Welcome back. Freddie Boom Boom Washington. Vinny Barbarino, Arnold Horseshack, and Juan Epstein. Remember, he would write fake notes from his mom, and he would literally sign it Epstein's mother. Yes, loved. It was before my time, just before anybody starts throwing the old jokes out. This was right before I was born, actually, but I got into the reruns. I really loved Welcome Back, Kotter. Let's see, Jamal, hell no. Steel Loyal says Russ was abysmal. Somber, Cincinnati knew how to play Tomlin. Steel Loyal should have kept Fields in it for real. Yeah, I mean, that's always going to be debatable. But you had Russ, and the thing was they made the commitment before the season even started. So I think that's why ultimately they benched Fields and went to Russ. And listen, Fields wasn't doing great, but again, at the end of the day, I think what were we, 4-2? Yeah. So, could have been a lot worse. Jamal says, dude, I heard Taylor Green looks like a stud, and he's another one. My theory is I think all these AFC North teams are just drafting every possible quarterback, so we can't even get a chance to get anybody at this point, as the Browns and the Ravens seem to just continue to draft quarterbacks at a record pace. Jamal, yes, I do. Yes, Jamal, I do acknowledge that you were big on Taylor Green. I recall that. Steel Loyal says, I saw clips of Taylor Green. He looks average at best. Interesting. What Steel Loyal is saying. Let's scoot up here to and go past the super chat. Again, I do want to say thank you, though, to Tortilla. Steel Loyal says, ain't no way that you're defending a Browns quarterback. You were already losing your fandom, Jamal. Being rough today. Jamal laughs. Steel Loyal says, well, the Browns draft him. That immediately makes him a bust. Let's go to Somber. Somber says this, KC Concepcion already dropping passes in camp. Christine says this, hell no, LOL. I think we always lose to them on Thursday nights in Cleveland, and we play them again right after Paris without a bye. Hey, come on, you can't tell me that's not what the league's looking for, Mike. They want that game to be competitive in Cleveland. Yep. This is why they continue to put it on Thursday night. Why? Yeah. Why does that game for 3 years in a row land on Thursday night in Cleveland? That's not strategic, guys.
Right? I hate to sound like a nut job, like a whack job. Like I got my pin board back here, connecting all the dots and the arrows and whatnot. But yeah, it's the only reason it makes logical sense to Pittsburgh has to go to Cleveland on Thursday night, so it can actually be a competitive game in Cleveland.
I mean, the odds are, you would think, pretty bad if they were to accidentally land on Pittsburgh at Cleveland on Thursday night for 3 years in a row. Come on.
It's statistical. It's almost a statistical improbability at that point. You have to go out of your way to do that.
Let me grab a couple off the end here. Christine says 100%. Lindsay says same reason the Ravens are our last game. Again, come on. It's all about strategy. It's all about making money, keeping you interested in the game. There's no doubt in my mind. It isn't even tinfoil. It isn't even any of that. I think it's just critically thinking and understanding the process. And
I do like the to end the year against the Ravens, Steelers.
Absolutely.
Ravens. I just like it to have that game potentially mean the division is won or lost in that game. So everyone's focused down the stretch.
Yeah. No, I agree. And the thing about Baltimore, we always get both of their games late. You never get the Baltimore Ravens early, and I'm okay with that. Because remember years back they stomped us on week 1.
Yeah.
I mean, they stomped us, and I didn't like that feeling, man. I like to get in the swing and get them at the end of the year when it matters. Christine's comment finishes up by saying this: we usually split with them anyway, so I'm being realistic. No, you are being realistic. Vegas says this: he paid to make that comment too. Jamal says this: yes, he did. It was worth it, he said. Oh, okay, I see.
We're talking about tortilla
with the tater and the couch and Christine. Let's go here to Vegas. I said that VT. Vegas says this is show number what? That's what I'm saying. I'm not even going to do it, Mike. I'm just going to say this is show 965, and we're going to move on. Great job as always. Let's do.
I'm updating the enemy list, Vegas. You're right up there. You're close to being in permanent marker, along with Cody in permanent marker.
Yes, Cody is in permanent marker. I seen it here at the studio. Dude says this is a season ticket holder. I hate the to be determined games. I drive 2.5 hours to each home game. They end up being night games, long drive home. I can see how. But again, that all comes down to the strategy of the league and putting the best product out there. So, I get it, but I get your point too. Absolutely. Somber says New England is still a very young team, for sure. To get into the Super Bowl at that stage, I think says a lot of good things about them moving forward. Christine, I also think Tallman 100% knew how to beat the Ravens 14-6 after all. He lived rent-free in Lamar's head, so Lamar might play better against us now. Still think we sweep them, though. Again, 10 out of the last 12 we win too. I don't care who you are. That's domination. And believe me, if the Ravens beat us 10 of the last 12 games, you wouldn't hear the end of it.
It'd be the talking point on the
most dominant
every sports show in the world.
Rivalry. It's so dominant. The domination. How can you be the team 10 out of 12? Dominant. Yeah. Let's go here. Let's go to Yinzer Joe. Which Steelers running back is looking for a new job after preseason? I don't know, Mike. Which running back is looking for a new job after preseason?
Caleb Johnson.
I was going to say that, but he's still so early as well, Mike. I don't know if, again, he gets a chance with McCarthy and things turn out for the better for him, or I don't know. It's just of the three guys, it would certainly be him for sure. Let's go to Tyrone. We'll start 3-0. Okay, I like it. Christine, Ty, I think we'll be 5-3 going into the bye, 6-3 after Cincinnati. Vegas says 3 is the answer to the trivia question at the end of the show. Let's also go to Ty. I think the Steelers know they have to start hot this season because the second half, and exactly. And as we shit the bed sometimes down that stretch, Mike, that's going to be a conversation that comes up as this season progresses. Because again, that stretch has been tough for us. Vegas is the woman that said, I'm 100% sure he's the dad. He always ends up running off the stage and flopping on the couch. Such a shame, poor kids. Tyrone, do see Jamie. Jamie's in the house. Welcome to the terrible board, Jamie. Welcome back to the show. Tyrone, go with the Here We Go Steelers with the Rockets. Always holding up the flag. Vegas says this, the Cotter guy, Gabe Kaplan, yes, was funny on the Dean Martin roast. I always was a pro poker player. I always liked him as well with the Jew fro, and I like Cotter. Let's go to Christine, 100% Ryan Lindsay, the same reason the Ravens okay with the schedule. Right here to Christine, I love playing the Ravens at the end of the season. I see that. My bad, Tyrone. Let's go here to Tortilla. They should just make Jameis Winston play every Thursday night football game.
Jameis Winston should be the all-time quarterback on Thursday night. He just
You're
plays
right.
for both teams.
Let me grab a few more of these, Mike, and as we are rounding third here of the show, Christina said exactly, and we still the media, sports media has them sweeping it. Isn't that freaking crazy? Because it's never reality. But the sports media, they just can't get past the fact over this. The Ravens are better than the Steelers. They won't get over that, Mike, and they haven't. It hasn't been the case for at least 5 years.
Yeah,
at least 5 years. Let's go here to Ronald. He says, in honor of the Sweat Hogs, welcome back, Cotter. Can we please refer Diana Rossini as Hotsy Totsy from now on? We sure can. What did Freddie Boom Boom Washington? He was like, hi there. That was always one of my favorites. Hi there. And what did Horseshack? Horseshack was always he did the ooh when he raised his hand.
Mr. Katia.
Mr. Katia. Let's go here to Christine Tortilla. Man, it's hard not to love that guy. Let's go to Tortilla for real. His culture hire for sure. Vegas, his Jufro was big. I like the Jufro for sure. Let's scoot up a little bit here. Tyrone, as long as we have JPJ, we have a chance to win. Jamal, all-time QB. And Lindsay, I knew that was coming. Jamal, Vegas says, bring Winston in when you want the defense to practice catching. Mike, why don't we bring Mike in to tell us about the website?
Head on over to the2dumyinzers.com. We got all the news stories for the day posted over there. All of our links for social media there with merch. Got a merch to the link store over there. Link to the merch store over there. All kinds of fun stuff over at the2dumyinzers.com. Check it out.
Hi there. Go check it out, everybody. Go check out the website, www.d2dumyinzers.com. That's www.d2dumyinzers.com. Lots of cool stuff over there. Mike and Chop and RB do a lot of work. Go check out the website at www.d2dumyinzers.com. Guys, question of the day, trivia question of the day. This is about the big three. And when I say the big three, I hope you know what I'm talking about. Of course, it is Mike Tomlin, Bill Cowher, and Chuck Knoll with their schedules, guys. Put your thinking caps on. Board, put your thinking caps on. Mike, put your thinking caps on. Everybody at home, here is the question of the day. This is about the big three. Here we go. All of the big three coaches' best seasons fell in 16-game seasons. Okay, so it wasn't a 14-game season for the early Steelers, and it was not a 17-game season. This is all based off a 16-game season. So let me start again. All three of the big three coaches' best seasons coached for the Steelers fell in 16-game schedules. Name for me, guys, all three of the coaches' best records. Tell me all three of the big coaches' best records, and they're all based off of 16-game schedules. Take a minute to think that over. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30, 3 o'clock p.m. every day right here on the Tube.
On Tube.
So again, between Knoll, Cowher, and Tomlin, all in 16-game seasons, all their best records had fell in 16-game format. In other words, there's no 14 games in the early. There's no 17 games for Tomlin. All three of their best season coaches for the Steelers fell in 16-game formats. Tell me the best record each of the three coaches had coaching the Steelers. Mike, I'm going to come to you. What is your thought process on this question?
I know Cowher had the 15-1. That was the year Ben's rookie year.
Okay.
Outside of that, I'm going to do a lot of guessing.
Okay.
I'm going to go Chuck Knoll had a 14-2.
I love like with Mike and the glasses and everything during this, because every time he doesn't know, but he ends up always getting it right. Oh, now that you already seen it, it's already. But still,
I closed my chat down.
You know, we don't know that. You're telling me that again. Your
so
phone,
14-2
for again,
Knoll.
we do know that this is an ongoing issue. So I'm going to let you slide this time.
And then
Mike is like, I have no idea. Let me guess, and then he nails it.
I'm throwing out numbers.
All right, go ahead, continue.
And then
I'm just saying, everyone, go ahead.
And then
Is that your final answer?
Yeah,
All right,
Tom,
so
I should
Mike
get
says-
Tomlin at
Mike says,
at 14-2 as well.
Mike Tomlin 14-2, Coach Cowher 15-1, and Chuck Noll 14-2 is what you're saying.
Yeah.
And is that your final answer? And then every once in a while he misses one on purpose. Listen, I'm into your. I'm on to you.
And then I click the chat back over.
I'm
and
like
then
I'm on to your games. But anyway, let's get into it, Mike. This is your those are your final answers. So let me go ahead and lock you in. Let's get to it, guys. Again, on the 16-game schedule. 16-game schedule. I'm looking for Cowher, Noll, and Tomlin's best record as Steeler coaches. Mike says 15-1 has for Bill Cowher. He's saying 14-2 for Tomlin, 14-2 for Chuck Noll. Let me look on the board, see what everybody's saying as well. Mike, I think everybody got it pretty close here. I'm going to start back to where I just want to say this. I'll grab this one real quick. Vegas says, has the Meat Whip made an appearance on this show? The Meat Whip?
Who the fuck's Meat Whip?
I don't know. Let's scoot up here. Juan Epstein, Puerto Rican, Jew, Puerto Rican as well as bald, half-fro. Let's go here. Jamie, I do want to say welcome, Jamie. Always great seeing you on the board. Looks like a welcome back Cotter fan as well. Christine says Tomlin was 13-3. Tortilla, he believes 13-3, 14-2, 15-1. Christine says Cowher was definitely 15-1. 15-1 with Ben. Vegas is 15-1 with Ben. Christine, I think Noll was probably 14-2. Tyrone 15-1 with Cowher. Jamie says Bill Ben rookie. Yes, absolutely, his rookie year. There you go, 15-1. Let's go to Vegas. Jimmy Dean Sausage Finger have an ass. Who?
Me.
Oh, you?
Vegas, yeah, you're now okay. Now you're definitely in permanent marker. You and Cody.
Well, your Meat Whip.
No, my Jimmy Dean Sausage Fingers.
Yeah, I understand, but I'm trying to.
I don't know who Meat Whip is.
I'm trying because that was also his message. His last message was his Meat Whip on the show, and then he called you Jimmy Sausage Finger. I'm just trying to correlate if they're connected. Let's go to right here where Ronald says Tomlin 13-3 in 2000, Noah 14-2 in 78, Cowher 15-1 in 2004. Tomlin's was 2020. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Tyrone says we went 12-5 in 2020. Vegas says the Meat Whip is on another. Oh, gotcha. On another Steelers show. Gotcha. Tyrone Googled the answers with Tortilla saying, and Tortilla says, no, sir. I'm by heart. Guys, the question of the day is this. What is the big three? What is the big three? Of course, Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and Mike Tomlin. What is the big three's best records as Steeler coaches? Guys, okay, cool. Gotcha. Mike, it is, in fact, 15-1 for Cowher. Mm-hmm. It is, in fact, 14-2 for Noll, and it is, in fact, 13-3 for Mike Tomlin. But it's interesting, Mike, because again, they all fell in 16-game seasons. Yeah. You know what I mean? Chuck Noll didn't do better. Of course, you can't get more than 14 wins in a 14-game season. Yeah. But of course, with Mike Tomlin as well. So that is correct, guys. After all the controversy, as usual, for the trivia time on the show, Mike, the answers 15-1 Cowher, 14-2 Noll, 13-3 Mike Tomlin. What is going to be the best record that Mike McCarthy has when it's all said and done, Mike? You just want to throw a crazy guess out there? I mean, it's hard to say. We got to do at least wait 5 years. Mike, what's your prediction there?
13-3 or 13-4, excuse me.
All right, there you go. Let's hope that it could be this year. That'd be nice to see. Guys, I do want to say thank you to everybody for hanging out today. It was again a big day as the schedule was released. Single tickets are on sale now. If you want to get on and get your tickets, they are available. Tortilla saying 34-0. He found that in the new search engine. He found 34-0 will be his best record. But yes, Mike, the schedule release, we got through a lot of things today. We got through the early overs and unders. I'm sorry, the point spreads for the game, which are obviously going to change. But we had the preseason schedule. We talked about regular season schedule. We talked about, and now, Mike, on Monday, we have OTAs. June 2nd, we have mandatory mini camp. This train keeps on going, baby, as time goes. And you know what? We're here for every step of the way because we're less than 90 days away from playing our first preseason game, which means we're about 60 days out from camp, Mike, in Latrobe. Pennsylvania. So much coming up down the pike, Mike, and here we are already mid-May. It'll all be here before we know it. A few things before we do get ready to wrap things up, Mike. I do want to say this. If you're watching the Pirates or watching the Pirates late in the game and need to have a few beers to stop the heart attacks as we have like we do with our Steeler games, Pirates play the same exact way. It's the same exact story. If you are watching the Buccos this weekend, do stop and get yourself some Duquesne Pilsner, Mike, now available at Giant Eagle in 12 and 6 packs and wherever cases are sold. The people at Duquesne Pilsner, they go out of their way, Mike, to make sure that they include us with their promotions, and we couldn't thank them enough. So we ask you either swing by, grab yourself some Duquesne Pilsner, or get on and follow, visit their page, guys. It'll all help them out. And Mike, we always have Duquesne Pilsner here on tap in the studio for any event that comes along, made right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It says on the can, grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
Also, guys, we are on social media as well. Check us out on the internet. We're on Facebook, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and even TikTok. Swing by and hit the follow button. Keep up with what's going on with the two Dum Yinzers on a day-to-day basis. And finally, if you haven't yet, do hit the like button down below. Hit that, maybe the sub, the share, even leave a comment. It all helps, guys, in the algorithm. Okay, see, I'm going to get to that one second. It all helps in the algorithm, guys. We appreciate it all. Thank you so much. Tortilla saying you guys are both wrong. They went 12-4 in 2020. I don't know which year we went 13-3, but I do know that Mike Tomlin's best was 13-3, 2017 maybe, I think is what Ty is saying. Nobody ever corrects me, Ronald says, because I'm never wrong. Got you on that. I agree. We're similar in that area. Tyrone says I knew it was going to get. It was 12 wins, so I was right. It was actually 13. Oh, that season. Gotcha. Listen, let me separate myself from the board. It's distracting maybe at this moment, Mike. Also, I do want to say we'll be back Monday to get into it, Mike, as we do have OTA starting on Monday. So much to get into as this thing keeps on spinning, but just yet another milestone behind us as the schedule was released last night. So just that much closer to Steelers season, and I'm here for it, baby.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I just, like I keep saying, dude, I want to hear pads a pop and helmets a cracking.
Absolutely. Final thoughts on today's show, Mike. Schedule, little Aaron Rodgers, some random information. Thoughts on today's show,
dude. The schedule sets up nice for Pittsburgh. Dan Orlovsky is an utter buffoon and idiot. There's no way we're losing the last 9 games. Like I said on the show, we never lost 9 games.
Mike, we're a professional football. I would be hard pressed to even say the Browns are going to lose 9 games just because these are professional. You know what I mean? I mean, yes,
this is a team that just won 10-7 last year.
Exactly.
You know, so buffoon right there. I like our schedule. I hate prime times games late in the season because they fuck with my sleep schedule and my viewing schedule for work and everything. So that kind of sucks right there. But I love the way the schedule's lined up. I love where our bye week is. The only thing I don't like is that stupid Thursday night game against the Browns. But the schedule, man, is shaped out pretty well for the Steelers. I like it. And I think it's going to be a good year for the Steelers.
Tortilla says, what is it with the media saying that we're going to have a losing streak? Because they're haters. It's always been that way, bro. It's always been that way. Even when we were winning Super Bowls in the 70s, from what I understand, there's always a hate toward us. But you know what? That's because they hate us because they ain't us, right? The line from Seth Rogen and James Franco. Guys, I do want to say this. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out and checking us out today. We truly do appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do it without you guys. Thank you. And gals, thank you so much. I want to say thank you to everybody on the board. You guys always keep the show interesting, and you are. The show is, you're driven by you, and we thank you so much for that. You are the lifeblood of the show. Thank you. I want to say thank you to everybody at home, maybe at work, in the gym, in the car, listening, watching, whatever the case may be. Whoever you are, wherever you are, we thank you too. We hope everybody has a safe weekend, and we'll be back Monday at our regular time, Mike, to get into so much more Steelers as OTAs do start Monday. We'll be talking a lot about that and so much more. Do check the Pirates out through the weekend as they are facing the Philadelphia Phillies at home for a 3-game set, Mike. Also, the Riveters, their first game of the season against Buffalo FC. That is tomorrow as well. Also, UFL football on TV all through the weekend. So if you want to get caught up on some American football, sit back, drink some Duquesne Pilsner. Do check out UFL. Other than that, we'll be back at our regular time to do it all over again. I hope everybody has a great weekend, a safe weekend. Mike, your thoughts before we go, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Man, just everyone have a good weekend, man. I hope to see you all back here Monday, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to talk some Steelers, baby.
All right, there you go. Again, thank you so much, Yinzer Joe. Thank you to everybody, guys. Again, I see it on the board. I will read everything. I apologize. Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Please have a safe weekend. Stay safe. Have a good one. And we'll see everybody back on Monday morning. For Derpy, for Finch, for RB, for Chop, for Mike, myself, and the two Dum Yinzers, have a great weekend. Bye-bye.